All right. Hello. Welcome to Unnecessary Roughness, Barstool's college football podcast, brought to you by Twisted Tea. Grab yourself a refreshing Twisted Tea today. It is delicious. It is fantastic. Whether you're doing the peach or the raspberry or the original or the half and half, whichever version you're doing, it's going to be delicious. Twisted Tea. Nothing goes better with college football than Twisted Tea. And before we get started, I got to say, from the bottom of my heart, I got to humble myself right now. A humble and hearty congratulations to Big Ev. His team beats Minnesota tonight. Congratulations to you, Big Ev. Not that big of a, just easy win for the Buckeyes. And I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I got to say congratulations to Liam Blutman, who for the first time this year found his UCLA track jacket that he hasn't worn all season.
Yeah, you want to do that, buddy? What I wear when Utah kicked my teeth in. This.
I don't know.
He did wear that. It's a fact.
One more congratulations, though, since we're sitting here. One more congratulations. It has to go to my friend T-Bob Abear, who did not have to watch his team lose today.
Hey, win the bye week.
Petty, you can be petty all you want. You can be petty. I don't care. Doesn't bother me a bit. You were the one that said on the college football show this week that you would not agree to no fighting. I tried to make this, very amicable. I tried to say to you, hey, we don't have to fight. We don't have to be nasty. We don't have to be ugly. And despite the fact that you wouldn't say yes to me, I'm not going to be mean to you. I'm not going to be mean. You would be mean to me, by the way. And I know you would.
I wouldn't be mean.
Oh, liar.
Was I ever mean when we beat you? I think we
You don't beat me when you haven't really beat me that often when we've worked together.
3 times.
Well, then you should have been meaner. I don't know what to tell you. Life's lesson, be meaner.
Do you realize the logic you just said?
No, here's my thing, Brandon.
I
have grown up. I have grown up in the years we've known each other, okay? You keep wanting to go back to 2019 when I went behind your back. It's 2025. We've grown up. We've learned to love each other differently, okay? And I tried to say to you, Brandon, no matter what happens, let's not fight. And you were the one that said no. So technically, I could be petty and mean.
I'm not going to even do this because this day doesn't belong to you. You did win the game, but this day belongs to the UCLA Bruins.
That is true. I will give you that.
Belongs to the Florida Gators. This day belongs to the listen. If it weren't for UCLA beating Penn State today, and if it weren't for Florida beating Texas, we wouldn't have shit to talk about because today kind of fucking sucked. There wasn't a whole lot out there. There wasn't a whole lot out there. And Liam, you'll have your chance. But the early window sucked. The late window has sucked. Liam, just 10 minutes ago, you said, let's go live now because nothing's worth watching. You said that.
I said that because I was thinking in the mind of you guys who want to go to sleep and don't want to watch Duke Cal. Fact or fiction? Fact. Just because all the teams with little numbers next to their name weren't having the best games doesn't mean it was a bad day.
This morning and tonight, snoozers. There's not been any exciting football tonight.
Kansas, UCF, exciing. UVA, Louisville, exciting. I know it's in the other slate. TCU, Colorado, exciting.
They're tied 21 right now.
Terrible punt debacle. Like, I'm not going to go here and say because the teams with little numbers next to their name, which is due to irrelevancy, by the way. I was it top 5 teams in the AP. I don't know. I'll get to that stat later. Man, Jack.
Brandon, can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a little story? So our coworkers over at Big Noon Kickoff, they gave me a call today after when they were all sitting in the Delta Lounge. And Matt Leinart was like, you're not actually worried about Mississippi State, are you? And I was like, well, I think I actually am. And he said out loud, Kayce is worried about Mississippi State. And they all laughed.
That's great, Kayce. Super funny. UCLA, Penn State happened today. Penn State.
So bitter. You're so bitter.
That's fucked up.
Penn State. What does Matt Leinart know about football? All right. Penn State, UCLA. Last week, Penn State loses to Oregon, and they have to face reality that they have not won a big game yet again. They have to face life as somebody who didn't climb that mountain. But they had the fail-safe that even though James Franklin and Drew Aller have never won the big one, they don't lose the small ones. They bully the teams they're better than. Meanwhile, UCLA goes a month of the season without leading a game, without leading for a second. get beat by New Mexico, by UNLV. They never look good ever. For 1 second do they look good this season. This was the most shocking result I can remember since we have started this podcast, and that includes Northern Illinois beating Notre Dame. That includes wild upsets along the way. UCLA was the dead team I have ever seen over the first month of the season. Penn State is known for beating these teams. Big Ev, I'm going to get to Liam because he's got a lot to say. You tweeted it too. This was the most shocking result I can remember.
No, without question. And obviously, like you said, there's been like G5s beating big time Power Fives. But in terms of, everyone thought this was the Penn State get right spot. UCLA hadn't let it. They got pummeled by New Mexico. It wasn't like they lost; got destroyed. This is the most like shocking turnaround for a team I can remember. Really, I was genuinely sitting trying to think about a time that like no one picked this upset.
No one.
Like, it was funny. I had my tweet and people were being like saying it was shocking, being like, well, that's because you don't know ball. Like, everyone knew Penn State and Jay Ferguson. I was like, guys, shut the fuck up. What are you like?
Yeah.
No one thought they were losing this game. Honestly, Nico played incredible. I don't. It's hard to even put into words what like. I guess I'll go with the Penn State route. They're dead. Like, their season's over. It's over. They're not going to make the playoff. I was giving them too much credit, saying they were like a better version of Clemson. They're just the same. They're just the frauds who ever frauded. They were never that good to begin with. Haven't really beaten a good team. We gave them respect of, they brought back Aller. He's not that good. He was never that good.
It's Franklin.
They're not that good of a team. They're just they're like a good team. They're not great. Like, I won't hold them to the death penalty of this one loss. But they're just not the team that everyone thought. They were never a national title contender.
Yeah.
They were a fringe playoff team who lost the game they couldn't lose, and now they're not going to make the playoff.
Penn State literally exists now as a spoiler in the Big Ten. That is what their role is going forward. That is not where they thought they would be. Liam, I'll open it up to you. I fear, and we're going to talk a lot about Penn State. I fear a lot of the talk is about Penn State and them blowing it and them getting exposed and them. But UCLA was a team that was dead, and they have risen again. They showed fight. The Neuheisel kid doing the offensive stuff. Nico looked good. Nico looked fucking good. Talk about UCLA for me, Liam.
I have a lot of thoughts about this football game, and I'll start with this. You guys have come to learn how pessimistic I, as a UCLA fan, am, and how so many of the rest of us are. I told Lukey after the first 4 plays, I genuinely think that we could win this football game because I look across the field and I'm not scared of that team. I genuinely think Penn State was just that comically overrated, and James Franklin from the jump never had that team ready. I think it was evident. We scored 57 points in the first month. Jerry Neuheisel goes in his play calling debut, puts up 42 on Penn State. Jerry Neuheisel will be my winner today. I am only doing one winner today. I will get to him so much later in this show. Yes, Brandon, I am abiding by the rules tonight. I mean, this is a team that didn't have a head coach, didn't have an offense coordinator, didn't have a defense coordinator, just mollywopped the team with a Fugazi number 7 next to their name. So that's pretty sick. Nico, the best game that he's ever played in college football, a game where he navigated the pocket so well, his feel was sublime today. The way, just what a game for Nico, man. Like, and like, I've hated on him so much, but T-Bob's alluded to it in the past. That's what the sport's about, right? When someone or something that you're so critical of is able to overcome all of that, he overcame a lot of adversity. He balled out. I just can't stop thinking about James Franklin, though, and what a dork he is and how unprofessional of a job he does. The intentional safety was discussed on the CBS broadcast for, I'd say, 2-3 minutes. He didn't have a clue that was in the realm of possibilities. Genuinely had zero idea. How about the end of the game? First play of the final drive, a nice little swing pass that cut off 4 seconds. James Franklin,
It was
See you, buddy.
was
Hit the trails.
every negative stereotype ever about James Franklin, about that team, came true today. And I hate that Drew Aller lost because Drew Aller wasn't the reason that team lost. The defense, the defense,
They're slow.
Makes sense of it.
They're slow.
Going into the season, and I know we always laugh and joke about all the things we have back and forth, but last year I said that's the ceiling that we're going to see Penn State. They had a really easy path in the playoff. We saw what happened when they ran up against a real team, and that every single time it was like, can he win the big one? Can he win the big one? This is why I said he can't win the big one. He had this program.
But this doesn't explain today. This wasn't a big one.
Yeah, it was. It was at the Rose Bowl.
Brandon, I'm saying he can't ever win the big one because their ceiling they hit last year. And the only reason they got as far in the playoff as they did last year is because they played really bad teams. Today was awful. I'm not saying I thought that was going to happen. Liam, when he brought it up in the preview episode and he said, I'm going to be happy for this 1 second UCLA might have a lead. I was like, please, like, what are you even talking about? They had the lead the whole time. I'm just saying that James Franklin has no business being at Penn State anymore. Penn State has never been a real team, even when they've only lost to Ohio State or Michigan. Like, they've been a real team. I'm saying a real national title contender. They've never been a real national title contender with him. And tonight that died. And I want an apology from all Penn State fans, including you, Brandon, who told me I was fucking stupid earlier in the year when I said they hit their ceiling.
I'm not going to apologize for that because what you just said was kind of stupid. Like, they were a title contender last year. They were in the
Did I not say in the offseason?
She did say it in the offseason. She
I
did
said
say
they
it.
hit their ceiling last year, and you were like, what point did they hit their fucking ceiling? Look at you out. They hit their ceiling last year. They did.
That's right. Yeah, look, we can talk about Penn State, but I got to start with Jerry Neuheisel. I mean, to go full Collinsworth, here's a guy who had never even called plays until Wednesday. He had never called plays in his entire life. In his post-game interview, he talked about multiple times tonight fucking up and calling plays with his headset flipped up because he's never practiced it. He didn't even remember to flip it down, press the button, all this sort of stuff, and yet he comes out and he puts together a masterclass in play calling that leads to Nico Iamaleava, who we all wrote off as dead, with 5 total tuds, over 100 yards on the ground, as Liam alluded to, a first half in which he was incisive through the air. And once again, Jerry Neuheisel, a man who a decade ago, back in 2014, comes off the bench and beats Texas, playing quarterback, gets carried off the field. Here a decade later, after years spent working his way up the UCLA ranks, he gets carried off the field, the Gatorade bath. He looks, and this is a joke that I stole from Twitter, so I apologize, but he looks like what would pop out if you put in ChatGPT, show me the UCLA head coach. The Neuheisels are Bruins through and through. One of the warmest and sweetest moments of the entire day was Rick reacting to Jerry, watching the game in studio. CBS opened up with it in the postgame. It was wonderful. It was amazing. It was heartfelt emotion. It's what college football is all about. So shout out to the Bruins finding a way to come up with just a massive, massive fucking win. And then on the Penn State front, yeah, they're dead. They're dead. And it's a part of a larger trend for college football. A lot of teams we thought we were going to be good coming into the year are dead. And guess what? I think that's a fucking good thing. Because you know what it means? It means it's fucking exciting. Because there's a lot of new kids on the block. Whether it's Miami being fully back, A&M looking truly legitimate, Ole Miss in the mix, Indiana, who now feels like the third in the Big Ten instead of Penn State. Texas Tech feels real as fuck. The Who's, Virginia, getting it done again. This is good for college football when our preconceived notions are wrong because it's exciting and novel. And the UCLA game is a great representation of what's been a very odd first month and a half.
I still think this is uncharted, a new thing altogether for Penn State. This is a Penn State team who through all the disappointments of not beating the Ohio State and Michigan, you could trust them in this spot, and for them to finally lose in this spot really shows the cracks in the dam that are now gushing. I don't know how James Franklin puts the toothpaste back in the tube at this point. I think you can go 10-2 and lose to Ohio State every year, and you can make a living that way. I don't think you can lose to a UCLA team that was getting shithoused by New Mexico and go back to Happy Valley and explain that to the natives, Big Ev. I don't know how that's going to happen.
No, I think it's kind of – I feel almost similarly when Ohio State lost to Michigan last year. I was like, Day's got to win a natty to save his job. I think Penn State would have to beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think that's what he'd have to do. I think he'd have to beat the Buckeyes in Columbus. That's how he saves his job. I think other than that, you lose 3 games this year with this all-time group and the quarterbacks, the running backs, everyone back. But again, like I've said the last couple weeks, I mean, all this talk of everyone back, they lost their 2 best players.
Yeah.
Lost their 2 game-breaking players on each side of the ball. They lost them both.
But there's a bigger deal than that. Like, what the fuck? How does a defense – Jim Knowles is supposed to be a good defensive coordinator. I know they lost Abdul Carter. That's fine. That doesn't mean you're giving up 42 points.
Well, that was another big part of it too. Like with behind the scenes Ohio State stuff. I know Liam knows. He's shaking his head. Jim Knowles literally got training wheels put on him after the Oregon game because he was so bad, and that's why Ohio State did not give a fuck that he left because he wasn't that good. He changed some things initially. A couple years ago, when Ohio State's defense was really, really bad with Haskins in those years, they really were struggling. He got our defense off the mat, but he was never that good to begin with. It was fool's gold. That's why we said, guy, we're not paying you that money. You want to try to strong arm us? Smell ya. I can't
wait. Yeah, you hit him with the smell you later.
I can't wait. I can't wait till they come to Columbus and we score like 50 on them. Like we take the training wheels off Saint. I guess we did today. We saw what he looks like. He's incredible.
Smell ya.
We'll score. I mean, they're not that good. Like he's not some guru defensive coordinator. He never was.
No, their defense is legitimately so slow to the ball. It is infuriating, no matter who you root for, to see 11 guys that have zero sense of urgency playing the sport of football. I mean, I have more to say about UCLA and stuff, but I'll let you guys.
You're going to get your chance. Kayce, what's up?
No, so I don't know enough about Connor Griffin's stance on Penn State. You can obviously speak on that a little bit more, but I did ask Max when I was in Chicago, and I was, the off camera, off air, and I was just like truth serum right now. Do you want to get rid of James Franklin? And he said no. He was like, no, I really don't. He was like, I don't think we're going to win the big one, but the grass isn't going to be greener without him. Does Connor feel that way?
Yes.
I mean, who knows what he felt like? It doesn't matter what he felt like the other day.
Today.
It matters.
Yes.
It matters now.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like the reason I was asking
life has changed.
All of those guys have to feel wildly different now. Because I know Jeff Lowe's been down. Jeff Lowe's been talking shit. Like the guys, and the guys that we're close to, like they were kind of in one place or the other. I mean, Max very definitively said to me, "No, I don't want him fired." There has to be not one Penn State fan out there that wants to keep James Franklin after today.
Also, I don't think Max is the diehard at the level of Connor Griffin.
That's why I was asking you. I was asking you if I don't know what his stance was.
I spoke to Connor on every single day of this week. I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, and we talked extensively about – it was Monday because it was right after we saw each other after the Oregon game. Yeah, he talked extensively, me and him, about James Franklin, stay of the program. I told him I – thought about college football for an hour and a half before I went to bed Saturday night, and I thought of 3 coaches, and we're talking. He's like, yeah, I agree with you. It's time to move on with Franklin and do something that doesn't happen enough in the sport. Thank you for getting us here. You're not cut for it anymore, so we're going to take it from here. We're going to move on, and we're going to get someone who could get us to the upper echelon. That's what it is. It's a cutthroat business, and he's agreed with that.
And whether it's over the top, I know Brandon and you and I, we're destined to do this forever, arguing about Penn State. I still don't think they were ever a legitimate national title contender because they weren't ever going to beat those big teams. They just weren't. Now, if James Franklin, were they?
Yeah, obviously they're not. They lost to fucking UCLA. Why were
that's my so they weren't a national title.
To be right.
They didn't even win the Big Ten last. They didn't even win the Big Ten last year.
What the fuck are you talking about last year before they lost to UCLA today?
I just said they've never been a national title contender. And my next question to you, I still don't know when they have been with him, but beside the point, my next question to you, okay, you know what? Never mind. You're right. They almost won the national title every fucking year. They were always there, right in the mix. You're right.
What are you talking about?
I was finishing my comment before you decided to flip out. You were wrong about Penn State. We can move past it.
Brandon, are you wrong?
They lost to UCLA today.
I know. You didn't let me finish
my
question to you. You didn't let me fucking finish.
What is And one note, the only thought I have on Franklin, because I see a lot of this chatter, is the Bo Perbula stuff. And I want to be very clear that I don't think it's a Drew Aller problem. We can criticize Aller, certainly, but there is a common denominator here that has lasted many years and many OCs. And it is James Franklin wanting to run a scheme that kind of inherently has his, or not even a scheme, because it's not that. It's a culture, an offensive culture that he's created that has his quarterbacks inherently very tight and very tied up. And I think it's kind of the main reason that they fail on these stages. And then look, I know how this goes, dude. They thought they were going to beat UCLA. They're disappointed last week. They got so close, they fucked it up. They probably dicked around this week. UCLA gets Neuheisel. They get a little belief. They get that wonderful, magical, unquantifiable interim bump from Jerry Neuheisel. They get a little confidence. They get a great first half. And I got to say, we should give credit to the Bruins for after the block punt touchdown, when it looked like everything was falling apart. And here we go again. They fucking put their feet in the ground and they said no. And they went and won the game.
I thought I jinxed my entire existence when after the fumble to open the half, I tweeted, "It's over. It's over. Call off the dogs. Penn State's dead." And then they jolted back into it and got me. But a lot of credit being given to Neuheisel, deservedly so. Credit given to Skipper, though. He's the interim head coach. I know it feels like Jerry's got the true the interim head coach tag, but Skipper had these boys ready to play. Jerry Neuheisel's the only guy we've got that's a true leader. He's been dying to and prying his way through UCLA, trying to say, "Hey, man, give me an opportunity year after year." And upper management would never give him an opportunity. So I'm very happy for him. This UCLA legend that is, once again, 11 years later, still a living legend. I love Jerry Neuheisel so much. I'm so thrilled for him. And I just want to say one last thing, and then we can move on. Martin Charmand, all-time loser, probably didn't even watch the game, probably had no idea what the final score is. The fact that you saw that team today, and the fact what was everyone saying? We're just having fun. These guys are just having fun. Deshaun Foster's coaching, leadership, lack thereof, whatever you want to call it, was absolutely apparent and unacceptable for any football team, regardless of level that there is. So, just very aggravating that this dunce is running the athletics at UCLA, and he doesn't deserve to have a job. And take notes, no field storm, no big deal. We've been there before. Also, shout out Penn State. Evan McKenna, game-winning goal today.
All right.
Great day to be a Penn State
fan. Hold on. Also, Connor Griffin has to be, Liam's butler for a week now?
Yeah.
That's
and Max Delente got – I'm a nice guy. Max Delente said on Sunday, "Hey, you lose to UCLA, you dye your hair red, and we'll get some freckles on you." And he kept saying, no. Friday comes, he gave in. He said yes. But after a drive, I was like, "No, I can't do that to you. I'm too nice."
Oh wow, okay. But Connor
Kayce,
will be a
I
butler.
believe the point I was trying to, and I probably stepped all over you there.
It's okay.
Every narrative about Penn State was proven so true today that they lost to UCLA, and I'm like, yeah, we can talk about the national titles that they didn't win last year. We talk about this is the head of the snake. Everything exploded today. Nothing that was argued about these guys. No narrative they were fighting against matters anymore, because today the volcano erupted.
So my where I was going with that is, with all the expectations and the high, I guess, thought process people had, that's obviously dead now. The head of the snake is cut off. What do they go do? Because you let him play the rest of the season out. And I agree, Ev, if they beat Ohio State, maybe. I still think they have to actually win something for him to save his job, because I feel like they would have to actually put up a banner. What do they do? Because James
Brian Kelly
has kept them in those hypothetical conversations.
I thought you were going to say something serious. The easy answer for me is Drinkwitz.
Yeah.
Do they let him coach out the season? That's I guess.
Yeah.
Let him coach. Okay, so then they say, okay, unless you win something here, then we've got to move on, because all these expectations and everything that was set on you and all the narratives around it did completely die today. That was the point I was trying to make, was that we've all argued about this for years and years, because it was always able to be argued. It's not anymore.
You have an ad?
Game time. Game time.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of these games we can be going to. Hey, listen, I think we're back on the road. I don't know if that's been announced yet, but we're going to be back on the road with Big Noon Kickoff coming up soon. A lot of games, a lot of Major League Baseball playoff games, NFL games, and thanks to Game Time, you can get the best tickets on the planet. The advantages to the fans, it's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experience in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so you see what you pay. Ev, I'm sure you're going to be going to some Yankees playoff games, I would imagine. Imagine you're going to be heading to the Bronx.
You know, we stream them all, but
Well, if you could,
You could have just lied and
No. We did what we all would do to make sure everybody knows that we're doing our job. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code RUF for 20% off your first purchase. If you're not going to be watching the guys on the stream, if you're not going to be in the gambling cave with Ev, go to the game, go to the Bronx.
more
Download
tickets
the
for everyone
Game Time
else to buy.
Yeah,
Yes.
create an account, use code RUF, you get 20% off or $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code RUF for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go, download the Game Time app today.
All right. Now, the luckiest team in the world, maybe not the luckiest team in the world, but the team that has gotten the freest pass in the world because Penn State losing to UCLA is this gigantic supernova that has wiped out everything. Meanwhile, Arch Manning's overrated ass and the Texas Longhorns go down to the swamp facing another. They weren't as dead as UCLA, but Florida's pretty dead. 1-3, lost to South Florida, going to fire the coach at some point over the next month. They go down to Florida, and really, at least Penn State showed some fight getting back in it and making it a game, like kind of non-competitive out of Texas and made DJ Lagway. This is another one, and I feel this. You can blame your Allers and you can blame everybody in the world. Penn State's defense disappearing today boggles my mind. And Texas's defense today disappearing boggles my mind. Somebody in chat says Florida is legit. They're very much not. They're just not. and they got enough talent to make one stand at home, and that's nice, but they are not legit. And if you're Texas and you've been to the playoff 2 years in a row and you expect to be in the playoff again, you go handle business. And not only did they not handle business, they didn't look capable of even competing with this team. Big F.
No, I mean, it wasn't that they lost. It was the fashion in which they lost. They were, like you said, mostly uncompetitive. They got their asses kicked completely, start to finish. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. If Florida State scores a touchdown, this would be like the greatest double winner of all time.
This
so
is
I have
nuts.
that going on. This would be like the most unbelievable back from the dead double winner I've ever had in my life. I've had a horrible day of losers. But Florida, their defense is legit. But the way they just came out and just went right down their face. First drive, score again. No, Arch just doesn't have it. Like, I don't know. Maybe he gets it at some point, but I mean, he's been so up, and they're kicking a field goal. So that, yep.
There went that.
Yep, there goes that. Yep, I'm the worst. But anyway.
You're not the worst.
No, I'm pretty bad. But no, I mean, Texas, they're just not a very good team. Like, they're just they just fall in that category of like the no disrespect, the LSUs, and kind of they're in that mishmash of like that second-ish tier of the SEC. Like, I don't even know where to. I don't see it. Like, I don't see them going on some great run. Like, they haven't showed it. The only teams they've beaten are like mediocre G5 teams. They played two Power 4 teams and they got smushed by both of them.
Listen, Arch got all the hype, so Arch gets a lot of the blame. They can't block. They can't run.
No, the O-line's bad. 52 rushing yards said.
The O-line's bad. The D-line's not exactly doing anything. They're not living up to the hype of what we thought they were going to be, T-Bob. Like this, the team is just not that good throughout the whole team.
Well, and so now, like all things, we use the benefit of hindsight. And you look at Texas the last couple of years, they're really fucking good. Back-to-back playoff appearances, back-to-back semifinal appearances, and in this day and age, as we gather more data, there may be some exceptions to this rule, but I think we're going to see it's harder and harder to have that level of sustained success, and Texas taking a step back. But the most perplexing part about this game to me, Brandon, is not Texas, because they kind of looked like who they looked like all year long, and we can get to Arch. But where was this Florida offensive and defensive line up to this point?
The D-line was there.
The D-line's been there. Yeah, the defense has been great. Y'all are right.
Where was the quarterback?
Right. But they beat Texas's ass in the trenches. And remember, that's why we started to get a little high on Florida before the season. They were supposed to have a top 10 O-line, D-line in the entire country. That's why DJ Lagway was going to have so much success. And for whatever reason, offensively, it didn't show up until today. And then it did. And they just completely controlled this game beginning to end. And you look, college football, man, home field advantage. The Swamp is a fucking intense play to play when they give a fuck. And it was rocking even in the afternoon today.
Brandon, we talked about
Kayce,
it. Well, we talked about go ahead.
When we rank days, how high does your James Franklin take being proven correct, Texas A&M winning, and Texas losing? How's that feel for you?
I would be a complete liar if I didn't think about tweeting that before the A&M game. And I held my tongue because I was like, this could come back to bite me in the ass. But I was like, holy shit, one of the team that I want to see lose the most, Texas. The take that I've hung my hat on the most, James Franklin. And now it's beautiful. Like, sometimes your enemy's tears taste better than the victory champagne. And I get both today. I'll be honest. It's amazing. I will say, though, we talked about this on the college football show this week when we were previewing this game with Texas, that, and we're not the only ones who've said it. Everyone's been saying about Arch's mechanics, but watching him play against Ohio State, and we know how good Ohio State is. We know how good Ohio State's defense is. And we knew he was going to struggle against Florida because we know how good Florida's defense overall has looked this season. But what I simply can't understand, and I don't care if Archie told me himself, I do not understand what happened to Arch Manning. No one will ever be able to explain it to me, how we had all the hype and everything that's gone on. It doesn't matter what defense they play. If it's not Sam Houston State, he looks like ass. And I can't figure out why that is.
I think we just missed on him.
Well, I think it's a few factors. I think he's young. I think he has worse receivers than last year. I think he has a worse O-line than last year, and he's not as good as we thought. So, right,
he might be inexperienced, not young.
Inexperienced. I use those interchangeably, but a fair distinction, though. A fair distinction. Yeah. But those are a combination of factors that are causing him to not just fall short of expectation, but to fall woefully short. And I'm someone who has continued to kind of hold and think that he would get it. But in the context of this team, especially, I now don't feel that it's going to happen. He's just not accurate enough. I mean, that's what it comes down to for me. People are going to talk about mechanics. Like, who the fuck are we to talk about mechanics? Like the average guy talking about mechanics online, you could say, like, it's fine. If you want to go there, I'm not going there.
Let me, can I just interject right there? Because you asked the question?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think when Arch Manning's mechanics are so bad that I notice, that's a problem.
I guess it's just,
and quarterbacks that are in media talk about his mechanics. Like, it's not just us. It's not just like us sitting back and talking about it. Like, plenty of guys who have the experience are also curious why his mechanics look that way.
That's fair.
How many open throws he misses?
Yeah, he's just inaccurate.
He just misses a lot of
it's mechanics, whatever it is. He's just way too inaccurate now. We had Doug Peterson on Web Friday. Said, what do you look for in a great quarterback? And this is the same thing my old man told me growing up. Do you know where to go with the ball? And then can you place it where it needs to be? Decision and accuracy. They're the two most important traits. And right now, I don't think his decision-making is awful, but the accuracy is awful. And there's just nothing that's going to fix that, especially not when he doesn't have a ton of run support or great receivers right now around him.
Yeah, I really hate myself for not recognizing today that Texas wasn't going to win because Mannings just don't win in the Swamp. And I don't know why. I thought for a second that a Manning was going to win down there in Florida. Big Ev, I'm going to use you as a test balloon for this one, okay?
Oh, no.
Florida is now 2-3. And in the SEC that I believe is down at the top and up in the bottom, it's kind of compressed and it's even every week. I think it's way closer in from week to week than it has been. In Florida, save that motherfucker's job again. Now remember, last year he was out. They saved his job. This year, I think he's more out than he was last year.
And
2-3. Big Ev, can they save his job next week at Texas A&M? The following week, Mississippi State at home. The week bye week after that, Jacksonville, world's at the cocktail party. Georgia. Week after that, at Kentucky. Week after that, at Ole Miss. Week after that, Tennessee at home, followed by Florida State at home. And I think there's an obvious answer here now that I've read the schedule out loud. Big Ev, what do you think?
Probably not. But at the same time, I think they got a chance to get bowl eligible. I think that's very much on the table, but I don't know if that's.
So they got to get four. They got to get 4 more wins. They're going to beat us at home. They're going to beat Kentucky, and they could beat Florida State at home to get them to 5. Tennessee at Ole Miss.
This is you guys are just making a mistake. I think we're gassing this team up for being Texas. No, I know that we're just talking, but we're really going to give them credit for being this terrible Texas team that should. We're not doing this again. We're not making this mistake again.
No, we're not. And
no,
Brandon,
he's like.
Can I tell you something, Brandon? Can I tell you something that I need you to give me credit for? I bit my tongue right there. I bit my tongue on another take. I did it.
What was the take?
Some of us had Texas ranked at top 5 going into this weekend. I'm just saying they've always been ass. They've been ass. We've known they've been ass. I bit my tongue. You asked me.
Might be biased.
Are you just trying to gotcha me? You had Arch Manning come to Heisman.
Gotcha culture is here to stay.
But here's a real question though about Florida though. I know that we just went through the schedule and it's a very hard schedule and they had a very hard schedule last year. If they are able to pull off where they do get 6 wins, can he save his job? I don't think it's a crazy thing to say.
Shut this nonsense down, Blutman.
He's not saving it. This is exactly what I said was going to happen. In Billy Napier's deluded brain, this game saved his job. That's what he thought was going to happen. Florida beating Texas was probably, quite honestly, the easiest pick of the day. And to the idiot in the chat that just said, "Oh, Blutman wasn't watching," brother, I got 2 eyes and 9 screens. Of course, I was watching. Like, we're not doing this Texas thing that Texas is some good team and that Florida got some good win. Florida's going to lose to A&M. They're going to probably, honestly, in my opinion, lose to Mississippi State, and that man's job is gone. And then we're going to be in the same spot again. Oh, wow. Billy Napier is gone. Wow, crazy. That's wild. Like, what are we doing here? This guy's not saving his job because he beat Texas.
Well,
what do you mean they're not bad? They showed a whole month's worth that they're bad at football. They beat a good Texas team. This is why I'm saying because Texas has a fake number 9 next to their name, we're going to guess
their offense has not looked good.
Crazy.
Their defense has looked good. They put up a fight against LSU. You're acting like they've gotten their doors blown off every single game. Like, yes, they were 1-3. They were 1-3, but whatever.
They lost that.
LSU ain't good either.
They lost at home. They lost at home to South Florida.
What
are we doing?
Nobody in the SEC is that good.
Florida is one of those weird teams, kind of to Kayce's point a little bit, where anytime you have
A&M's not that good.
Nobody's that good.
Anytime you have an underachieving,
and they should get a playoff team, and they get 4 guaranteed or whatever.
That's not what I meant. I'm saying there's nobody in the SEC right now that you are just like, holy shit, they are like leaps and bounds above everybody. I think it is.
I think that there's
a lot of people went into the weekend thinking it was A&M. People are thinking Alabama, Georgia, whatever. What I'm saying is you're acting like Florida has looked like fucking Kentucky all season. And
I'm not. I'm acting like they've looked repulsively bad when they lost at home to South Florida, when they moved. They didn't do anything against LSU. And then you go and they what are we doing? They got steamrolled by Miami as they should. And then they beat the Texas team that we're going to gas up because they were so highly thought in the preseason. And while we're tarnishing their quarterback, we're just going to say, yeah, you know what? Florida did a great job. You know what I want to say? Arch Manning probably shouldn't have his job going forward because Matthew Caldwell came in, made 1 throw, and it was better than any throw Arch Manning made all day. I was actually getting worried I wasn't even going to be being able to talk about this disgusting display of football in this game. So thankfully I can. I just can't believe we're sitting here actually talking about Billy Napier's going to save his job again.
Time out.
I asked, could he? They still had a very good win today.
It's not a very good win, though. You just said nobody's good in the SEC.
Okay, nobody has good wins. Nobody has good wins ever anymore. Nobody does. Who cares what the number is? Who cares what the number by anybody's name is? The reason that we're talking about Texas being a big storyline today is because they lost the football game. No? If it wasn't a good win, why are we talking about it?
It was a good win. It's
obviously a big win because they were a top 10 team. Blumman's point, and he had it before, was that we, me included, by the way, overrated the shit out of Texas, and Texas isn't good. I think today
here's where I think we just have to acknowledge that, guys, these games are fights that exist independently. We suck Ohio State's dick all the time. That Ohio State team barely beat Texas. Took a fourth line stand. It took that crazy Carnell Tate catch. And Florida's one of those weird teams where anytime you have an underachieving but talented team, if they put it together for a Saturday, they can do something impressive.
Good win. DJ Lagway finally looked alive today.
I'm gambling brain here. I know Ev saw that line movement, 7.5 dropped to what was it? Closed at 4?
3.5.
It closed at 3.5.
Closed at 3.5.
Case in point. That game was over from the jump. Florida money line.
Listen, if your point coming in today, or if you at any point in this season believe Texas wasn't good, today was like music to your ears. I mean, they were non-competitive for much of that game.
No, and I said going into the show this week, I said, I don't think Texas should be ranked in the top 10. I'm still not going to sit here, even with those feelings about Texas, and look at what Florida did and played today, again, against a Texas team who has made the playoffs the last couple of years. They have all the talent in the world. They have every 5-star recruit they could get. They have one of the best coaches in the country, and Florida goes out and beats them and has an offense finally and say it's not a good win. That's bananas to say it's not a good win.
But he said that before.
What?
I called Brandon out. I called Brandon out and Wubb for having Texas in his top 10 this week.
He said on Wake Up Barstool the other day, he looked at me and he said, "You're wrong on Texas. They're not good."
Did UCLA have a good win today?
But he didn't wake up.
Actually, that is something I wanted to say.
Did UCLA have a good win today? Because Penn State
no, because I actually told
Penn State
comparing apples and Cadillacs.
Wait, well, Kayce, let me speak, because I actually told Lukey a few hours ago, I don't even care that we beat Penn State. Like, I don't think they're that good. It's not about that. We won a football game. We beat a football team. That's what I cared about. I couldn't care less that they beat Penn State. Penn State was just the team lined up across from them that had a number 7 ranking for whatever reason when they're clearly not that good. Penn State is not a top 25 football team when we're talking about top 25 teams tomorrow. So yeah, I cared that UCLA be a football team, not that they beat Penn State. That made
nobody
nothing
had
to
a
me.
good win.
They could have beat East Mississippi Community College today, and I'd have been celebrating the same. That would have been crazy.
Top
good
10
for
doesn't
us.
matter. Nobody had a good win. Why are we having a podcast?
He said it before the game. He said he didn't wake up today and say, if Florida beats Texas, I'm going to shit on Texas. He shit on Texas Friday or Thursday.
No, and I did too. I mocked you for having them in the top 5. But I can still sit here and say that the way that Florida, just like T-Bob just said, in a vacuum, when you look at these individual games, Florida put together a good win today.
Yeah, they did.
Why is that such a controversial?
Okay. I hesitate to do this, but I feel like now that everybody's nice and lubed up, I feel like we got to get in the mom and dad bowl.
I hate Texas. I hate Texas with everything in my heart. I think Arch Manning is wildly overrated. I thought it was fucking ridiculous that anybody had them in the top 10 going into this week after the way that they've played. And I watched that game every single second and said, this Florida team and all the people that I'm friends with that are Florida fans did not expect them to look this way today. Whether they won by 1 or they won by 40, they finally looked like they were supposed to look going into the season, and it's still against the University of fucking Texas.
The problem here is Blutman did expect it, and that's what the point he's making.
Okay, but it's still okay to say somebody has a good win.
Yeah.
Nobody has argued that fact.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, Liam, it was disputed. It was, but that's okay. I think we've landed at a place where everybody.
No one's going to gaslight me. Everybody's
points are clear. Everybody's points are clear.
All right. So, yes, Blutman.
I'm just saying that Texas is not as good as they were made out to be.
Correct.
And that Florida, yes, gets a win today that will be looked at as good by many. Through my brain cells, I don't really care. I don't even it's a fine win. It's doing nothing to save Billy Napier's job. And that was my entire point coming into this week, was that Florida was going to walk in there, win the game fairly convincingly, in my opinion, which I think they did. And then the discourse was once again going to be, oh my gosh, Billy Napier is going to save his job again. Florida's doing the same thing they did at the end of last season. And all I'm saying is, do not go down that road again, because that man will not have his job.
The only question
it's not happening again.
the only question that was asked was, can he save his job looking at the rest of the schedule? I do
And
not think
I
he
just
saved his
set
job.
out there
No.
into the universe for anyone doing it. Do not do it. I'm being a warning sign.
It's fine.
Read an ad, Kayce.
Let me go over to him now. Okay. Hulu. We got Hulu, folks.
Oh, shit.
The original series, Chad Powers, starring Glenn Powell, streaming right now on Hulu and on Hulu on Disney Plus. And let me tell you, the show is a wild one. It's hilarious half-hour comedy. It's not just about football. It's a heartfelt comeback story that everyone can relate to. So don't miss Glenn Powell as Russ Holiday and Chad Powers, two identities, one icon, zero shame. The all-new Hulu original series, Chad Powers, now streaming with new episodes every single Tuesday. And if you're a bundle subscriber, you can also stream it on Hulu, on Disney Plus. Terms apply.
That's like me when I'm sober versus drunk. Two identities, one icon, zero shame. Also, Chad Powers, pretty good. Pretty good. It's got a little Kenny Powers vibes to it.
So today, 31-9, Texas A&M beats Mississippi State, stays undefeated, stays in the top 10. Went about how I thought it was going to go. I told you guys in the chat earlier, 37-16 was what I thought it would be. It was the 31-9 was the final. Texas A&M just a better football team. It was a very close game up until the first drive of the second half, I think. And in the second half, Texas A&M just outclassed Mississippi State. But it was a war for 30 minutes. Went back and forth. State did okay, and then A&M just kind of took off on them, and State couldn't keep up. So A&M continues to be undefeated, Kayce.
Yeah, no, the first half was a dogfight. There's no doubt about that. The offense, Marcel could not throw the ball at all, which was one of the concerns last year. The defense had some mistakes, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. And with all due respect, Brandon, when you were texting that earlier before the game and you were saying that, first of all, I thought you were trolling. But second of all, it was a lot closer at halftime than I thought it would be. I can admit that. I don't like the way they played that first half of football, but at the end of the day, they got the win at home. And Kyle Field was electric. I think that everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, Kyle Field looked amazing. 108,500 people there. That's fucking crazy. It's a huge win, but they can't have first halves like that against other teams in the SEC. And Marcel's got to figure it out early.
It was a good win for you guys. You now take a 10-9 series lead. Series was deadlocked at 9-9 going into today, and obviously the two teams very even for the first half. So you guys slightly better tonight, slightly better in the series.
I know you don't read the group text. That's been very apparent this week. But Billy Lucci did send me a graphic. I don't know if you saw that graphic about just how close the programs are together. Did you see that by any chance?
Didn't see it.
It's kind of like over the whole life of each football team. The only edge that you have,
the bowl percentage. Mississippi State's better bowl team.
That's it. It is embarrassing. The rest. Of it.
I will say it was a little A&M flexing any national titles is.
We have
1938.
We have one. No, we have one.
Come on. We have
one. No. We truly do have one. The other ones.
I'm saying, come on.
The other ones that we have, I am the first to say, whenever they threw up the other ones on the side of Kyle Field, I hate that. I hate when any school does that. They just all of a sudden decide that they have national titles. We do actually have one. We have multiple Heisman winners. I'm just saying the programs aren't close to the same. Doesn't matter. We won tonight. Keep it moving.
You guys did. You took a 10-9 series edge.
Again,
I think that
we can put that in a microcosm. That's fine.
We are
a program as a whole, but
on the field, you're one game better than us.
We are learning what this year's Texas A&M team is, and what it is a truly elite defense, which is funny because at the beginning of the year the defense looked like dog shit. But credit to them, they're fucking badass. Like the talent is apparent, the execution's there. Mike Elko's a defensive coach, and so it's anytime you have your head coach specialize in one side of the ball, you want that to be your strength. And right now, A&M has an offensive line and a rushing attack that will lean on you, and they will break you by the end. Mm-hmm. If you cannot keep up, if you cannot put points on the board and force them to throw the ball, A&M will break you by the end, and they will win the game. Tommy Moffitt has instilled the toughness there that I thought he would when he got the job a couple of years ago. I think that, again, like if you're trying to put together the game plan for A&M, you got to make him throw. You got to get a lead because if you get in a dogfight, like if you want to stand there and bang toe-to-toe and just fucking wrestle in the mud, like that is the exact style of game that A&M wants to play. And it was a dogfight. Mississippi State's defense is fucking good. They invested heavily in that front seven. It was paying dividends, but the offense could do nothing to give them a break. And eventually the defense broke. And that is a rhythm that many teams facing A&M will hit this season unless they can find some more consistent offensive success. And it's probably got to come through the air. Well, I don't know.
No, I will say in the air because we do have two elite wide receivers. So it's not like they don't have the threat. I mean, Kayce Concepcion and Mario Craver are awesome.
Yes, they are.
He has to be able to hit them. And in games this season, he has proven that he can. In the first half of this game, he did not. In the first half of this game, the concerns that we had about him last season were there. But Mario Craver leads the country he was leading the country in some wide receiving stats. That's why they have a throwing threat. He just can't be off his game like he was in the second.
That's why they are they're consistent or they're not consistent. They're a legitimate title threat this year.
National or SEC?
I think one rolls into the other.
No.
I don't see that with them. I think they're solid.
Contender.
I think they're solid. I don't think they're a national title contender. I don't know if they're an SEC contender, but I look at the schedule going forward, and they almost have to be because they're 5-0 right now. They got Florida coming in, then they go to Arkansas, then they go to LSU, which as it stands right now, rumors about Nussmeier, that could be a very winnable game. They go to Missouri. They got South Carolina at home, Samford at home, and then at Texas. Texas is a remarkably winnable game. So even if I don't know how good they are at the contending level, I feel like they're a lock to win at least 10 and probably 11 at this point.
A&M has as good a chance as anyone to win the SEC.
Agreed. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the SEC doesn't have a top 3 team in college football this year.
The Big Ten is ridiculous.
No, but they don't because Miami's
fucking good.
There's Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami. Those are the top 3 teams in this country. I don't even think you can debate that right now, to be honest.
No, I wouldn't. Those are the 3 teams
they
I
have
had.
been by far the best 3 teams.
When we did our playoff re-playoff bracket or whatever you want to call it on Monday, I mean, those were the teams that we all had, and I had A&M in there because I think they're going to win the SEC, and that was before today. Not saying that today was some huge indictment of that, but I do think Miami, Ohio State, and Oregon have separated themselves for sure.
Can I throw a 4th team? That's crazy. It's crazy
Texas
to
Tech?
think about it. Huh?
Texas Tech?
Just relax. I'm going to throw a 4th team. What about Texas Tech?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what we're all. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's okay. We're all there for
sure.
May
I ask a question? If you think Texas Tech is a national title contender, then
why is it A&M? Yeah.
Why is it A&M?
No. I don't know. I don't know if Texas Tech's a national contender at all.
I thought that's what you meant in the fourth when we said Ohio State, Miami, and
when you're talking about the top 3 teams in this country, and then you after 3 it gets a little hazy. It gets a little questionable. It gets a little, is Georgia that good? Well, they've shown some bad. Is Alabama that good? Well, they've shown some bad. Texas Tech, if we're talking about it, if we're just discussing right now, maybe they belong, at least in the conversation of teams, we can talk about that.
100%. They're so complete.
Yeah, they should be right there with A&M, though. They're in that same tier still, right? Butting up against the big 3, I would say.
Yeah, Ole Miss is probably in there. I frankly think Missouri might be in there. Missouri's very good.
What about Alabama?
Alabama's in there, dude.
Yeah, there's probably 12 to 15 teams that are in that group that now. But I really feel like Texas Tech is you're right. The top 3 are the top 3. I really believe that. Miami, Oregon, and Ohio State, and then it gets a little soopy.
Texas Tech invested in that front 7, and that front 7 has paid massive dividends thus far. They handled Houston no problem today.
Today was
all right.
Impressive win by them. They manhandled that game from start to finish. That was very impressive.
What does Ev say? Pillar to post?
Yeah, no, 100%. Wire to wire. However, they're just a complete team. They're elite on defense and offense. They have it all.
Score wise, I know Florida State ended up coming back and making that close tonight, but Miami spent a couple of quarters, about 2.5 quarters, 2.5, 3 quarters, kind of flexing and showing who they are. And they went on the road against a Florida State team who had to be desperate. And Miami kind of flexed for a little while. And it got closer. But Miami today, Big Ev, looked the part.
No, every time you see them, they impress. They dominate on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They have elite athletes on offense. They have a big time quarterback. Like they check every box. They're a dominant football team. Like I know, like this game, the scoreboard, it was a blowout. It was 28-3, and they had Florida State had no real shot. Even the Notre Dame game, like Notre Dame made it close at the end. They were dominating that game the entire game. Like they have been just a dominant football team. They smash USF. They beat the shit out of Florida too. Kind of similar thing. They don't get super aggressive offensively because their defense is so good. They just smush people, and they don't need to get reckless and careless. And I think it's smart, and they push people around in offense. They have as good a chance. I mean, yeah, like I said, they're a legit top 3 team. I don't see anyone in the ACC competing with them at all. I think they go 12-0 in the regular season, and yeah, they have, like I said, they're going to be there in the Final Four. I think absolutely. I'm very confident.
Yes.
What do you think about Miami?
Yeah. Look, I was the biggest Miami hater. Mario Cristofraud and all that. I've been hating for years. And I doubted Carson Beck. And this is a prime example of what I talked about is when you create this narratives around people and you think you know better than the people themselves, and they shove those narratives up your ass. And that's what this Miami team and Carson Beck has done. The biggest thing that I missed on with Miami, outside of just missing on Beck, who has proven to be great, the biggest thing that I missed on was they lost all their top receivers from last year.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, that's just too much to replace, especially working in a new quarterback coming off of injury, yada, yada, yada. But CJ Daniels transfers over from LSU, and he's been way better at Miami than he was there. He is back to his Liberty form. And then Tony's unbelievable, dude. I mean, you just never know when a freshman phenom's going to erupt. Right, you can have all the 5 stars and all the ratings and everything, but there's going to be a guy that just comes in ready from day one to show up and blow minds, and that's been Tony. And so this receiving core that I was doubting is light years better than I thought they would be. And even though the offensive and defensive lines were hyped a lot last year, and maybe not as much this year, they've just been so fucking good on the lines of scrimmage, and that's why they're a true national title contender, because maybe like the list of teams that go toe to toe there is not many. It's probably like 5 or 6 teams.
I'm more worried about them than Oregon.
Interesting.
That's my honest. I'd rather play Oregon than them.
And you're also more familiar with Oregon.
I just think Miami's that good. Like when you can win on the line of scrimmage, you can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Well, and they, we talk about Carson Beck going into the season, and Brandon and I were high on him, and there are other people too. But I mean, to go, 240 yards, 4 touchdowns tonight, that's great. And Cam Ward, we saw what he was last year, and Carson Beck doesn't have to be the best quarterback in the country, and he's still putting up those numbers. But at the end of the day, Miami did exactly what you're supposed to do in this era of college football. You find out what your biggest problems are, which was very clearly the defense. You go out in the transfer portal, you get those guys, and you plug in those issues, and they're just playing really sound football. And moving forward in the ACC, we talk about the Big 12. I think most of us agree Texas Tech is going to be, the favorite of that for the college football playoff. But it's like,
Cincy. But sorry.
But I'm saying, but just in general, like when you look at the ACC right now, I think going in today, and I know they won 28-22, it was a close game, but it's like those are the 2 teams that I had penned going into this week that could potentially be in the playoff. And at this point, it's like I just think Miami so leaps and bounds above everybody in the ACC that it's like, okay, we know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how high I am on Miami.
They feel like the class of the ACC.
Also,
there are frisky ACC teams, but they feel like easily the class of the ACC.
They played all their toughest games already.
Yeah,
on paper, like all their toughest games they played already. They're going to be, they're going to be double-digit favorites maybe the rest of the way.
To do what they did today in a hostile environment, whether that first start, Florida State came out buzzing that opening drive, they get the big stop and goal to go, and from there they just completely rolled on. And I think that is really a testament to everything that T-Bob and I doubted before the season, because it's what Miami has been in the past. That culture's different now. They have a physical nature to this team where they could physically overwhelm you and they can emotionally abuse you. And that's what they did tonight against a Florida State team that loses on Friday to UVA. They're down as bad as could be, but hey, we've got a big-time rival coming to our house. We could get a little revenge. We could get back. We could make this about us in the ACC now. No, Miami shut them up in an instant. Like, Miami deserves so much credit for this win in the fashion that they did it. And I had the same thought Ev did. Like, is Miami a tougher test to Ohio State? Was something that popped in my head say 3 minutes before you brought it up. And it's tough. Like, both of them have absolute true freshman phenoms in DeCorian and Malachi, but something about Malachi Tony, man. He's a top 5 receiver in the sport. After the catch, he's bonkers. Like, he's a game-breaking talent, and he turned 18 the other week. When you have guys like that, and then your WR2, CJ Daniels, and Beck's making every right throw, you're frightening.
Yeah, and we can't. I mean, I don't want to just gloss over Beck as well, because the way that he exited Georgia was kind of fascinating in terms of how hard we all turned on him, how hard his own teammates and program turned on him, and then the injury as well. I mean, who even remembered that Carson Beck fucked up his UCL at the end of last year? Like, he's made that all a thing of the past, which is why sports are great, because ultimately you control how we talk about you. If you go out there and kick ass, we suck your dick. It is a mathematical equation. There's no opinion. And shout out Carson Beck. I think I've seen pictures of your dick through your gray underwear. I'll suck your dick, dude.
What?
Y'all remember that? Have y'all not seen the Carson Beck leaks?
No, I haven't.
Where did that come from?
I'm a curious little cock cat. If I hear
You've
about
been listening to the Taylor Swift album or something?
I have actually a bit, but if I hear
A
about
cock cat? Did you just call yourself a cock cat?
my friends call me Whiskers. If I hear about even like a pseudo celebrity dick pic leak, I'm in there 5 seconds later.
I get that, but where did Carson Beck come into that?
So I was saying, if you do well, we suck your cock, and then I remember that. Oh wait, I think I've kind of seen his cock from a leak back in the day.
So Alabama.
Damn, this sucks too.
That's a terrible segue. Right into something else you don't want to talk about.
I just got a text message from somebody that just straight up said, "So is T-Bob gay?" Like, dead serious.
You'll never know.
The man appreciates a good cock. I mean,
I do. Dude.
No, he's not gay. He's not gay. Married to a woman with kids.
It's like if you see a beautiful car on the highway, you're going to say, "Wow, that's a good-looking car."
There is nobody more than me that understands you can appreciate a fine
scale, guys. It's a scale. I'm not scared to make out with a guy. Doesn't mean that
I'm.
Anyway,
today,
let's keep
I
it
want to
moving.
ruin somebody's night, and that somebody's going to be Big Ev, because I was watching.
Big Ev, don't let him do that to you.
I wasn't watching the stream, but I saw a clip of the stream when I'm surprised you didn't hit Marty Mush. I would have hit him. Alabama scores the late touchdown to make it look like they beat Vanderbilt by 16 points. They were up, they were up 23-14, and it'd been like pulling teeth. Both these teams, it was a war. Vanderbilt came to play. Alabama's good, came to play, and then Alabama scores the late touchdown. Big Evan, I know it took the heart out of you.
No, it hurt. That hurt the spread. Had the spread. We had the college football parlay that I put in when it was done. That was the last leg. They covered for 59 minutes and 43 seconds. And admittedly, I mean, they lost the game. 2 crucial Diego Pavia turnovers in the red zone. I have to. It's just what happened. Yeah, they had a chance to win that game, at least be in the game. They were in the game for, most of it. But
excuse me.
Bama definitely imposed their will in the second half for sure. They were moving the ball a lot in the first half, Vandy, and they struggled to in the second half. Listen, Bama's is a really good team, but I think Vandy's they're no joke. Listen, they're obviously not like a national title contender or anything, but they're not a joke. They're a legit top 30, 35 team, I think, comfortably.
I mean, Alabama's one of the top 5 or 6 teams in this country. Vanderbilt went in there and walked in there with some swagger and said, "Hey, we're going to take it to you." And they did for a while, but Alabama's the better team and ended up separating. And Ty Simpson is coming to his own. Ty Simpson is just the most efficiently efficient, ruthless quarterback that maybe we have in the sport. He's like a robot. He's very efficient. They got the 2 receivers, and the running back that they have didn't play against Florida State has made them better. Like Alabama just is a much better team than we thought they were when they lost to Florida State.
That
And
touchdown at the end of the first half that really flipped it.
That's where it was.
Like going to half tied when Vandy had really like dominated the first half.
Yeah,
that was tough. That was when I knew they weren't going to win the game, but that was tough. That was a game to me. That was like the X factor play.
Ty Simpson is teaching me a great lesson in objectivity and trying to fight my own bias, because everybody here knows I hate Alabama. But if I were to put Ty Simpson into a vacuum and look at his story, I would be championing this story, right? This is someone who in a transfer portal day and age stayed the course with the original school that he signed at. He lost multiple starting jobs and yet continued to grind. Even when he got opportunities, he failed, and that didn't deter him. That didn't cause him to leave. He continued to grind. And we've sucked quarterbacks' dicks all over the country that have done that in other places. When it comes to Alabama, I just want to hate him. That's my instinct. So I had to take a step back, and I say, Ty Simpson, I have to give you a lot of credit for going against the grain in a day and age when everybody just takes the exit ramp and takes the easiest path to go play somewhere immediately, go start somewhere else immediately. And he could have started a million different places. But he signed with Alabama. He said, I'm going to be the Alabama quarterback. And through a lot of adversity, he has now emerged. And there are arguments and conversations to be had. I'm not going to argue this, but the fact these conversations has the point that he might be the best quarterback in the country potentially. I mean, he's a top 10 guy, highest rated passer in the SEC. It's again, against everything that my heart personally feels, it is a very, very impressive story. And we continue to see the value of Ryan Grubb rejoining with Kalin DeBoer. And on the Vandy side, I'm with you. I actually emerged feeling very good about Vandy here as well. These are 2 good football teams doing good battle for much of that game with a final score that maybe doesn't fully represent what it was.
Brandon,
have you seen Ty's too?
No, I don't think so. I should. Well, hold on.
Brandon, can I ask you a question about this Alabama team? Because we've all talked about if Kalin DeBoer is a good fit, and obviously we don't want to overreact every single week. We don't need to go back into the Billy Napier type of argument. But do you think that what we've seen from Alabama over the last couple of weeks, and I mean, I know Georgia sees ghosts no matter who's on the sidelines against Alabama, but do you think it's starting to click at all with him for him to be a really? I mean, it is clicking, but as far as like a fit for Alabama long term.
For Kalin DeBoer?
Yeah. Or I guess, like, do you see?
I think it's very difficult to say if it is or if it isn't, because he is a solid coach, but he is at a place that one loss, the sky is falling.
Right.
And if it is a strategically placed loss, if it is a loss to a team that they're not supposed to lose to, like he really got behind his skis when he lost to Vanderbilt last year. Like, everything can go good. They can win 7 in a row and look like the best team in the world. They fuck around and lose to Auburn.
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking
fair.
Sky is falling. So
it's just last year when they lost to Georgia, and then or they beat Georgia, and then they turned around and lost to Vanderbilt. It was like, this year there was that feeling, whether you agreed or believed.
Yeah, we declared them dead after the
FSU. I don't know. There's something about it. Maybe it's just being around more Alabama people now when we're on the road. I'm not sure, but like there's something about it. It's like, okay, well maybe he's getting it figured out. Maybe he needed a little bit more than one season. I don't know. Maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm not this isn't to you, this is to the world. I'm not going to start a parade for an Alabama coach taking Alabama talent and winning one game against Georgia and then beating Vanderbilt the next week. I'm just not going to do it. Like, this is not a program that celebrates week-to-week wins.
Hold the line, Brandon. Fuck him. You're right. Pump me up.
This is a program that has coached on national and SEC championships. And last year, he coached his way out of playing for an SEC and a national championship. And this year, he's still got a loss on his record, by the way, on the road to a Florida State team that Miami shithoused a couple of hours ago.
I agree.
Yeah, well, hold on. Now, we talk about the Vanderbilt win and everything's good. The next 4 or 5 weeks, they're at Missouri next week. They're home to Tennessee. They're at South Carolina. They got LSU, and they got Oklahoma. Like, everything's good. Yay, Alabama, Dixieland delight. They lose to fucking Tennessee. Bye, bitch. Like,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But
It goes back to what we were saying earlier when Liam and I got into it about Florida. Like when this SEC schedule right now, like you do have to kind of prop things up when things happen. Like Florida did get a good win today, and I don't know. Ed, back me up a little bit. If they lose to Tennessee, I don't think they're
Alabama.
No, but I'm saying I think if
Yeah,
that run you just mentioned, I think they comfortably go 4-1, maybe even 5-0. I think but I think if they lose to Tennessee, like I don't think he's fired.
No.
They make the playoff. If they get through this, if they get through the 2 losses, they make the
fine.
playoff.
9-3 and missing the playoff. They're talking about
Maybe.
it.
Correct.
Maybe. Yes.
But
If they lose one more, I think he's okay. 2.
But
maybe.
I don't know if that's necessarily a fair conversation for them to be having.
What in the fuck are you talking about again? You're talking about fairness with fucking Alabama? Did you see Auburn make up an affair for a coach a couple of years ago to get his ass out there? Fairness doesn't come into the equation with these crazy motherfuckers.
Oh, no. I know. But I'm just saying that this Alabama team, so he follows up the greatest head coach of all time in college football. They have a shit year, still are in the conversation to potentially make the playoff, even losing 3 games. This year, they have gotten better. The Florida State game.
So far, maybe.
So I think, Kayce, you're approaching it from like a level-headed, objective outside perspective, and I think you're correct. And then I think Brandon's approaching it from like the Alabama fan perspective.
Oh, no, I know, and I agree with him.
And that's
I agree with him.
The disconnect.
But I'm saying that, like, even if you're an Alabama fan, that after last year, at this very point, at whatever the date is right now, October 5th, like knowing what happened last year, and I understand when they lost to Florida State, we all said that would have been the funniest outcome of the season, and it happened. Yeah. But this exact thing could have happened again this year. Like they beat Georgia, they have a letdown, but they go out and they handle a very good in the SEC Vanderbilt team.
But it might happen again. It might happen again. Like this time last year, they only had the loss to Vanderbilt, right? They had beaten Georgia. Yeah. They were 4-1 or 5-1 at this point. We didn't know they were going to go lose to the worst Oklahoma team in a decade. We didn't know they were going to do this. Like you look over the next 5 or 6 weeks, there are teams just as good as that Oklahoma team. We're halfway through a season, and I'm not going to throw a parade and he kept his job party for beating Vanderbilt. Now, things look okay right now, but at this point last year, they looked okay too.
If I wanted to project forward, though, I think what could potentially be the difference, and this is going to sound crazy because it's at odds with a very favorite offseason talking point of mine, but it is Ty Simpson versus Jalen Milroe. You know, I kept talking about how, Ty Simpson could never beat out Jalen Milroe. Now he's going to be better, and he's not as much of a talent, but his efficiency, Brandon, that you highlighted is massively different from Milroe, and it's likely a thing that makes you more disaster-proof, where Milroe would fall into these lulls when he just couldn't get out of his own way.
You say that, and it's a good point. I have seen Ty Simpson get his ass kicked at Florida State.
Yeah. The O-line couldn't block. I mean, the thing is about that game that's weird is the O-line just got fucking decimated.
Well, the thing about that game is still that there was zero effort from anybody on the field. They were completely lethargic at every single position. I do not think it. I think it's fair to say, hey, like, yeah, Alabama lost at Florida State and they got dominated. Sure, go ahead and say that, but I can't as a college football fan, as a sports fan, see that game, see what's happened after, and use any of it to dictate my thoughts on this team today, tomorrow, a week in advance, and moving forward, because that is not the same Alabama football team. That's just not. That is. They could. I agree with Brandon. They could still drop a few games like Kalen's not safe, and what Alabama has to win a national championship. But at the end of the day, this isn't one of the top 3 teams in the country. And for Alabama, that's unacceptable is what I think Brandon was alluding to in trying to get out there. So when I don't know, I don't want to ramble about it.
You can ramble anytime you want, King.
Kayce, read an ad.
Ramble on.
Ramble. Chubbies.
Is that the ad? Oh, Chubbies.
No. Talking about Chubbies. Talking about, the pants that make things look good. I know Chubbies do. Anyways, the leaves are turning, got that crisp snap, and the weekends are finally feeling like football season. But just because the weather's cooling off doesn't mean your style has to. Chubbies is here to keep the fun rolling straight into the fall with soft, stretchy, fall-ready staples built for maximum comfort and minimal effort. The Chubbies fall collection has landed packed with cozy layers that bring the heat, and they do. I have seen them in person. They absolutely bring the heat. They deliver peak softness without sacrificing an ounce of style. You can finally break up the stiff pants and embrace the fun side of fall. They've got polos, fan-ready mesh shorts, even swim trunks repping your favorite teams. Perfect for tailgates, coaching, or even couch-side touchdown dances. So if you want to get some Chubbies, which you all should, go to chubbiesshorts.com/UR. That's 20% off your order with promo code UR at chubbiesshorts.com/UR. That's CHUBBIESSHORT.com/UR. 20% off with promo code UR.
Lovin, 10 seconds. Are Duke and Cal playing the greatest ACC football game of all time right now?
It's a very good football game. It's good ethical ball. Two throwers of the football who are getting it around town pretty well and, making mistakes here or there. It's good ball.
All right, around the country. Kayce.
What? I'm sorry, I was changing the channel. What do you want?
I was going to ask you a question, if that's okay.
No, go ahead.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, my God. Brandon, can I? Okay.
Poor thing.
I want to pour one out for this man. Honestly, I wish that I could go back and I could ask so many questions of why the fuck he's doing this. This is humiliating. This is embarrassing. This is like when you have one of and he's not even that old in the grand scheme of things. Guys have coached in their 70s. I get that. I mean, he's old, but
pretty old.
Nick Saban coached into his 70s, okay? He's like the old dog that they're trotting out there, like when he should just be at home sleeping and eating and getting belly rubs. What the fuck is going on? I hate it. And like what I don't understand is that it's not like he went back into the NFL and is like, okay, like I'm going to give it a try and then went out sadly. Why is he in college football? Why? He never needed to do that.
Big Ev. Bill Belichick.
I mean, it's a joke. I almost feel bad.
It's not a joke. It's sad.
But
this is why I said what's going to happen.
He's literally ripping his legacy apart. Like when people are, it's been so long since the Patriots are good, since he was good, and also the fact that Brady just went and won a ring without him. Like I think we're going to spend the next 100 years questioning like how good of a coach Belichick really was. Obviously a great coach. I'm not sitting here saying he wasn't a great coach, but in terms of being this like genius mastermind, blah blah blah, like it's just bad. It's just a terrible, terrible look. You also have to remember, no one in the NFL wanted to hire him. There were many teams that had openings. The Falcons chose Raheem Morris over him.
Mm-hmm.
And they might be right. And Raheem Morris is not even a good coach.
It is a bad
coach.
It's a bad sign when everything that Ed just said is so true. And then you're on, again, social media on October 4th in 2025, and people are quote tweeting North Carolina getting their dicks kicked in by Clemson and be like, see, it was always Tom Brady. You can't have that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have that. Like, Tom Brady's been retired for multiple seasons. Like, what? I don't know what Bill Belichick is doing. And I understand, once again, as we all do, like the young girls throwing it back. I get that. Sir, go to a beach. You've been married multiple times, okay? You don't need to do this anymore. Go to a beach and let her ride your dick into the sunset. I don't know what else to say.
I'm going to ask a very fair question.
She was but I know you're going to ask. She was doing tricks on it. She is.
No, not
doing
even
tricks
close.
on it.
Quite the opposite, contrary. Are they even having sex?
Oh, 1,000%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
My man.
Wait a minute. How are y'all so sure about that?
They were
T-Bob's probably seen it.
They were doing acro yoga on the beach. You think Belichick's doing acro
What
yoga
do you
on the
mean?
beach?
How are we serious, Brandon? Of course they're having sex. You think that Bill Belichick doesn't need just like some girl, like he can just go get a girl to like she's doing tricks on it for sure.
Tricks on it.
I am once again saying I think Bill Belichick has dementia. I am now not sure if he is able to perform during sex.
He doesn't have to. He can just lay there.
BlueChew. You just get BlueChew, dude. One of the great sponsors of the show. There's a million. Yeah.
All he has to do, Liam, all he has to do is just lay there. She'll do the work.
It is. You know who it really sucks for too. Didn't the UNCAD? Didn't he want to like hire like John Sumrall or like Jeff Traylor? And then the board got a text from Belichick. They're like, no, fuck it. I mean, I tweeted earlier today, and maybe in a world where Jimbo exists, not a shock, okay? Because I'm dealing with the Brian Kelly contract from Scott Woodward myself, so let's just all calm down. But the Bill Belichick hire may be the worst expenditure of money in college football history when it's all said and done. In fact, what was the actually, I need to highlight this tweet. I forgot that I had put this in here for the conversation. Matt Brown has a really good blog, Matt Brown EP, that you check out. But he went on Sports Reference, and they have this SRS rating, which whatever. It's just a rating to determine how good or bad a team is. UNC football has played 122 years worth of college football. Right now, this 2025 team is the fourth worst UNC football team that has ever been fielded.
It's the saddest thing ever.
And it's a bad program to begin with.
It really is just like, let the man go out. Like this is where it's like, you don't want to watch your heroes or the legends of the game go out in a bad way. It's like back, when Tiger was like really, I mean, he still is, but like really, really struggling, and his back was always hurting every time he stepped on a tee box, and you were just like, God, I don't want to see my legend go out like this. Like Bill Belichick has no business doing this.
Tiger won a Masters out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like there was at one point where it was like, we don't need to.
Oh,
like,
so what you're saying is Bill's going to get a nat? He's got one run left in it.
Let him go. Like, he signed up for this.
I know, but I'm saying, like, you just don't want to see it. You don't like what's happening. And I don't know. And I don't know. She's got some pussy power over him because clearly
he's a grown. Unless he literally has dementia, this is his fault. He might
have you're starting to see it.
Fuck! We're talking about a 72-year-old man. Okay, stop.
But aren't his kids like involved in this shit? Like,
yeah, no, Steve Belichick continues to be the main loser. He was in a great spot at Washington with Jed Fish. The defense was badass last year, and then fucking dad made him come home.
No, stepmommy made him come home.
Yeah. Steve, I really wish you would call her mom. Jordan's been telling me she wants you to call her mom.
That's a really good Belichick. That's a really good Belichick.
Question.
So hot. Not you. That was bad timing. Go ahead.
Belichick? Yeah. Okay, I gotta do. Look, y'all go ahead. The camera's gonna be on. I gotta go find a charger. So just keep going.
Is it time to talk about the Cincinnati Bearcats, Big F?
Yes, it is, Big Ev.
I think so. And I'll tell you, those refs were trying to fuck them in the ass all game long. It was pissing me off. But I'm glad, listen, the right team won. And I'll say this honestly, as much as I've been a Cincinnati guy this year, I love Sorsby. The way they were able to run the football in this game, especially in the first half, I mean, the holes were this wide. Like, they had running backs it didn't matter who they gave the ball to. They just were able to pick up 8-9 yards a clip. It was incredible. Sorsby's a legit guy. He's not like the most amazing thrower, but he's super dynamic. Like, he can throw a deep ball. He can run. Their defense concerns me in terms of like long term. Like, they're a team like, listen, I think if they line up against Texas Tech, they'll be in trouble. But I think they're a very good team. They're like definitely top 4 or 5 team. I think top 5 team in the Big 12. And they're a lot of fun. Like, if you want to watch just good, fun football, they're a fun team to watch.
You know, we talk about Texas Tech and Miami and the strength they've shown in their conferences as if those conferences are finished and everything. And that's fine. I do believe Texas Tech to be the best team in that league. I believe Miami to be the best team in their league. But if you remember some 365 days ago, SMU made the playoff as the second best team in the ACC, and probably might have been the third best team in the ACC, but had the second best record. Like, there could be a spot where Cincinnati is not good enough to win the Big 12. But if they play well enough down the stretch, they could get themselves into a playoff position, much like SMU did last year. Somebody in the ACC, Virginia could do that in the ACC if they were to run the table. I know that I do feel like Texas Tech and Miami are the best, but there's still races in these conferences and teams that we haven't really talked about as much that are going to make a lot of noise coming down the stretch.
They
lost to Nebraska. They lost out. I just want to say that they lost out of conference.
And a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad for Sorsby because that was a national stage, and
Mm.
the national audience did not get the correct Brendan Sorsby that night. Like I want to say he didn't even throw for 100 yards against Nebraska. Maybe
They could not throw the ball one bit. It was all quarterback run stuff where they were having their success. I would like to just quickly speak on Iowa State here. Credit Cincinnati, great win for them and everything. Iowa State you might see a little bit of a tumble from them as we enter the second half of the season in the finish line. They lose their top two corners to ACL tears before this game, who are both NFL guys. They were depleted their defense. Why were there so much room to run for Cincy? Because they have so many injuries in their defense. They had guys that don't know how to run support, how to fill gaps. They have no guys with any IQ or feel. They've got fourth and fifth stringers playing, I feel like. Iowa State, I think, is going to tumble. But, yeah, since he's tough, good team.
I still love Rocco Beck, dude. That's a tough motherfucker. Did y'all see
gamer.
him get murdered today?
Oh, my God.
And,
That
like,
was one of the bigger hits I've seen in a little bit.
Bro, and
That
he's
was a
great.
shock.
He did the same thing in the Big 12 championship last year where he got murdered. He goes to the tit, he comes back out and throws a couple badass touchdowns. Like, the guy sometimes just needs to get fucked up and then he locks in.
It's like a
Helmet
smelling
straight
salt.
chin, too. Like straight helmet in his chin strap.
This has been a bad year for me, thinking Penn State was going to win a national title and thinking Clemson could compete, and thinking Texas was a top 5 team. So I do have to, when I get my wins, I got to say them.
Sam, with your chest.
I was on Virginia in the offseason. I
You
was
were-
on Virginia.
You
There we
were
go, baby.
number one Virginia.
I was on Virginia.
And
I saw
Missouri.
Virginia coming.
And Missouri.
It's a shame. It's a shame Virginia has that bullshit loss they should have won against NC State. They should be undefeated right now and really, really making noise. But they got that one fluke loss to a bad team. But look, Virginia goes on the road today in overtime and beats Louisville, a Louisville team that people thought in the offseason might be one of the best teams in the ACC. Hasn't really turned out like that. But UVA, Chandler Morris, that program has got off the mat. That team is off the mat, and that team is good.
So I didn't have great eyes on this game today, Liam. I'm sure you did.
Well,
The
no,
Bucs-
I did not because
I did.
Oh, this was
UCLA
during the
was
UCLA.
right
Okay.
my life, and then
So
Texas.
I don't fully understand the box score here. Louisville
about
outgained.
that a dog?
You saw it? Yeah. Here, Chewy, come here.
I didn't know you had a dog.
I got a giant dog, dude. This is massive. I'm laying
You
on
have
the
a dog?
ground. Yeah. Chewy, where you at, dude? All right, whatever. Fuck him. Ev,
What
so
kind
what
of dog-
happened
you
here?
know what kind of dog is Chewy?
He's a massive. Here, Chewy, come here, bud, come here, Chewy, come. Come here.
He's
Come on,
never
dude,
been
have
to
that
having a
fucking-
dog.
Look.
That's his asshole.
Oh, that's right, Chewy. What's
Hey,
up?
buddy.
Hi,
Chewy.
Oh, what's up?
Blue
Hey,
Chewy.
It's a big old boy
Look at
right
those
here. man.
eyes.
This is Chewbacca. He's an old man. He's 11 years old. But what happened here? Because he was at Louisville outgains Virginia 383 to 237.
No, they pitched the game. They had two horrible turnovers that were returned for touchdowns that, and really were. So the first one they were driving down the field, Louisville, like first drive, marching down the field, pitch, running back just drops it, like picks it up, ran it back for a touchdown. Then I don't know if you saw this highlight. I tweeted about it later in the game. Miller Moss made one of the worst decisions in the history of football. Was clearly getting sacked, was getting taken down. He actually somehow, by the grace of God, managed to keep himself up and just throws it and ran for a touchdown. So that's why the box score looks like that. It's not to take away from Virginia, but Louisville legitimately handed this game to them on a silver platter and said, "Please win this football game." Louisville should have won the game by double digits.
It was
That's
26
true.
first downs to 14.
They should have won the game. I mean, they dominated the game. They should have won the game by double digits. The fact that they even brought it to OT was like they should have won easily.
Couple more before we get to wins and losses of the weekend. Nebraska, a sneaky 4-1, 5-1, whatever they are, 4-1, I think. They beat Michigan State at home. And then the most disappointing fan base in the country right now, today, it isn't Penn State. It isn't Texas. It isn't Florida State. Do you know who it is?
Maryland.
It's Maryland.
Oh yeah,
Maryland.
They had it, dude. What happened?
Maryland fans were sitting in that stadium today and sitting at home and eating their crab cakes, and about midway through the third quarter, they start looking at the back half of the schedule and they're like, "Wait a second, 5-0. We're shithousing this team. Look, we got this team coming up. And I looked at their schedule. They don't play Oregon, Ohio State, and then I said this team. I guess this team doesn't. They don't play Ohio State, Oregon, or Penn State. Those are the three teams they don't play in the Big Ten. They play a bunch of very winnable games, and they're sitting there. They're up 20-0 over Washington, cruising. I mean, crab kicks are flowing. Everything's going great. And all of a fucking sudden, I look up, and Washington's kicking an extra point to go up 24-20.
Yeah.
And Brandon, to your point, by the way, you can still put Penn State in that because, and like, I guess it is disrespect. I was going to say no disrespect. It's still Maryland. Like Maryland not having Penn State on the schedule. I don't know what happened. Ev, like, what happened? I wasn't locked into the game. It was on the quad box, and all of a sudden I was like, what the fuck is going on?
This is one I didn't have great like eyeballs on. There was a lot going on. That was the Yankees were playing at that time. We really just had the three like big dogs at that time.
Yeah.
But I mean, Washington's a good team. I'll keep saying it. Washington's a good football team.
I didn't think they were for most of the game.
That's resilient of a win, as you'll see.
Yeah, you do want to say Washington's a good team, don't you?
It's tough to go cross country and come away with the dog.
I'm saying they went all the way to the East Coast, like got a win after. Trust me, my narrative was definitely going to be. They took.
The Ohio State narrative was.
They took an Ohio State beating and that after that, but they did. I mean, that's what happened in the first half. But no, they're just a really good team. And Brandon said it. Like Maryland is one of those tortured fan bases where like every time they think they're going to win a big game or they have a big game, they lose to like Iowa or like Penn State on a Friday night by like 70 points. And then this game was like, oh my God, they're up 20-0. Like this is it. Like they're going to win this like big game and have everything in front of them. And then they just shit it down their leg.
21 unanswered in the fourth quarter.
24. It was 20-0.
I thought they got the field goal at the end of the third.
Disaster.
It was 20. It was 20-0, and there was 24 unanswered late in the game. Yeah, I guess they got the three. In the first
and yeah, Damon Williams ended up with a pretty nice stat line on the day when he didn't have it.
All right, Kayce, how many ads we got left?
2 more.
Give me one.
Brandon, I know you love pork rinds. I know you love them. What's your favorite flavor?
Spicy dill.
Of course, and you're not even a spicy guy. I actually got a new delivery of pork rinds pretty recently. I forgot how good the hot honey is, but I know, very good. Yeah, a little sweet, a little salty. Porkrinds.com, the nation's premier hub for pork rind lovers everywhere, is bringing back the Crunch Time Hero of the Week campaign. We did this last year. Ev, you remember, like pork rinds jumped on board and we were like, absolutely, let's do this. This year, the Crunch Time Hero is even more important because if you post on Instagram weekly and you share your post, it equals $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, which is a nonprofit dedicated to helping families who are dealing with DIPG and DMG pediatric brain cancer. So each week during the regular season, one player with a standout player, key tackle, will be named the Crunch Time Hero of the Week. And the weekly winner with the most shares will receive the crunchiest accolade in all of college football. So Pork Rinds has been a big fan and big friend of this podcast for a long time. We equally love them. Now they're helping fight children's brain cancer. So your share counts. Visit porkrinds.com on Instagram and share the weekly Crunch Time Hero post. Each share equals $1 donation to fight pediatric brain cancer with the archer-foundation.org. # be a Crunch Time Hero. So eat your crunch time, eat your pork rinds, fight pediatric brain cancer.
I mean, guys, a share is $1. Think about how many times you just press like fucking retweet or put some on your story. Just fucking share it.
Share it.
Brandon,
share it. Share it.
Brandon, share it. Brandon, would you share it? Do you have? You're like the one person I know that I could see having an anti-pediatric brain cancer take. Would even you be willing to share the Pork Rinds Hero Crunch Time Hero of the
I'd
Week?
like to point out that I am anti-pediatric brain cancer.
Okay, you're right. I guess
Are you pro-pediatric brain cancer?
Fuck, no, I'm not. No, I messed that up. I apologize.
I'm 100% anti-pediatric brain cancer.
You're right. My bad. That's on me.
Good point. Good point.
All right. Because it's his big win today, Liam Blutman will lead us off. Liam, who won the week?
T-Bob stole my thunder a little bit an hour and a half ago talking about him. So for those that weren't here, the winner today is a kid that was born at the UCLA Medical Center, a kid who has been a Bruin from his life, literally has Bruin blood running through his veins, born to UCLA graduates, born to a father who played for UCLA, born to a father who coached at UCLA, a guy who went on to play quarterback at UCLA himself, backed up to Brett Hundley, gets inserted into a game in 2015 due to injury, and steals victory away from Texas at Jerry's World, and he's carried off the field. It was a 6 sluggo to spooky Jordan Payton. It's Jerry Neuheisel, the winner today. When Dave Portnoy says, who loves UCLA more than Blutman? Who cares more about UCLA than Blutman? It's a clear 1A, 1B situation here. It's me and it's Jerry Neuheisel. There is nobody that cares about this university, these 4 letters, the U, more than me and Jerry Neuheisel. And Jerry Neuheisel finally got the grasp of the opportunity that he has been seeking, clawing, begging for year after year. He was finally given the keys off complete ineptitude from Tino Sinceri, which was a massive splash hire in the offseason, and they had to mutually part ways. And it made way for Jerry Neuheisel to implement his game plan. For 2 days he had this week to figure it out. Like T-Bob said, he didn't know how the headset worked. And 11 years and about a month after beating Texas and getting carried off the field as quarterback, Jerry Neuheisel gets carried off once again by a new group of Bruins, a bunch of no names that nobody knows. Last time it was a ranked team. This time it was one of the most shocking upsets in college football history. Jerry Neuheisel, a Bruin for life, a Bruin brother, a guy I'd love to just say thank you to. Jerry Neuheisel should have a lifetime contract on his desk tomorrow if it's not already there. But our AD's an idiot, brain dead moron that probably doesn't know any of this.
Positive.
Not against your mark. Keep it positive.
Jerry Neuheisel's the man. Rick Neuheisel, watch him on from the CBS studio. Just getting to see it happen. Fantastic.
Oh, so sweet.
And I'm a winner today as well.
Oh, what are you eating?
I'm going to eat chocolate cake.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Winners get cake.
Winners get cake. Let's go.
Can I tell you something? This is the cutest you've ever looked.
I agree. Look how genuinely happy he is.
He's so happy. His eyes are they're just popping. The blue looks great. He's eating chocolate cake. He's so happy.
Yep. What up?
Brandon looks so nice.
Brandon,
welcome chocolate cake.
Oh, I saw a smile cream behind them lips, Brando.
He doesn't want to be happy right now because his shit got mollywopped today.
Not really.
Kayce, this is a positive segment. Positive segment here.
Mollywop now. You guys did what you're supposed to do.
today.
You're a better team. We're going to take shots now. Come on.
Liam looks happy and cute, okay?
T-Bob, who won the week?
Look, guys, I think it's very clear, and I think there's a conversation that nobody's having right now, and that is Billy Napier. And the conversation is, did he save his job today? This is a no.
Don't do this again, please. I can't yell at Liam again.
It's Nico Iamaleava. Another guy that offseason narrative, probably the worst offseason narrative, right? Like even more so than Carson Beck or any of the other names, Ty Simpson, any of the names that we doubted that have done well. And I'm not saying Nico's going to be great going forward or whatever, but on this day, Nico can celebrate. 17-24, 166 through the air, 2 touchdowns, 16 carries for 128 on the ground, 3 more touchdowns, 5 total touchdowns, nearly 300 total yards, and a win against Penn State, breaking the back of James Franklin. Nico Iamaleava, take a motherfucking bow.
Nico, I am a leading UCLA to victory.
Okay, it's a bit
unwieldy. Let him have it.
It's a bit unwieldy. Okay, you're right.
Let him have it.
You're right.
Kayce, who won the week?
Well, I know T-Bob was doing it tongue in cheek, but since they've already taken UCLA, I do think Florida won the week a little bit here, guys. And I don't want to rehash old shit. I don't want to go back into the argument. I understand. I also did not think Texas should be ranked in the top 10. But the way that Florida has played this year and their defense has played well, their offense has been putrid. Their offense has not looked good. Florida fans were down tremendous. The fact that they not only got the win the way that they won by double digits. I understand it was at home. Like, that is a good win for this Florida team, regardless of how you feel. Texas went to the playoff the last 2 years. They have one of the best coaches in college football, allegedly. They have a fantastic roster. They have a Manning at quarterback, whether he's good or not. everything on paper, this was a fantastic win for Florida. They handled business the way that they did. We'll see what happens next week. I don't think they're going to get the same type of feeling next week when they play A&M. But for this week, Florida absolutely won the week. They beat a top 10 team that a lot of people didn't think they would. Billy Napier did not necessarily save his job, but he didn't lose his job tonight.
People are talking.
And that's important. He didn't lose his job tonight. DJ Lagway finally got going a little bit. Florida won the week.
Big Ev, who won the week?
Miami won the week. I mean, I don't care what the scoreboard watchers will tell you. That was a dominant shit pumping of a win. Like I said, dominant both sides of the line of scrimmage. I think the second best team in the country. And like I said, you look at their schedule, it is a cakewalk. Like obviously, could they fuck up? Sure, we just saw crazy thing happens in college football, but they're going to be probably touchdown favorites or more in every single game the rest of the way. The ACC's theirs to lose. They're legit as legit gets. Miami.
Brandon Walker, who won the week?
The middle to the top of the Big Ten.
Oh,
Because
I like
today
that.
was an elimination game for one of them. If you are Michigan, if you're Illinois, if you're Indiana, if you're even USC still, if you're Washington, if you're Nebraska, and if you harbor playoff dreams this season, then looking up at Oregon and Ohio State is very, very frustrating. But you're no longer looking up at Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State. Penn State has taken itself out of contention for the playoff. They have proven themselves to be frauds and phonies that only idiots fell for. Penn State is an also-ran, a nobody, and if I'm Michigan, I'm feeling so good right now because there's going to be 3, maybe 4 spots coming out of this conference, and I can really I've just lost one that I had to worry about. Illinois, Michigan, USC, Indiana, all these teams in that top middle of the Big Ten now look, and the race for a playoff spot just got one name shorter.
Yeah, they got 2 playoff spots.
And I know, like the Michigan-Wisconsin game was very sleepy. Wisconsin's ass. They still won. Like there is like I don't know, like who would you take?
We didn't talk about that game real quick on the Michigan-Wisconsin game.
I got one thing to say about Michigan.
I'll say this about Michigan. They obviously they got one of the best rushing attacks in the country, but Bryce Underwood, I watched a lot of Underwood film because on What Friday we broke down his film and I was looking at all the pass plays. Up to this point, I mean, they have not asked him to do anything. Like they have been protecting him like almost unlike anything I've ever seen. But you also see the arm talent. I mean, the raw physical skills are like 11 out of 10 off the charts. I feel like today he started to do a little more. He got in a little bit of groove, but it is still very much a quarterback with training wheels, knee pads, elbow pads, and a helmet on right now for Michigan.
Bryce Underwood will never matter as long as that testicle-less fraud is the coach of Michigan football. That coach at Michigan,
God is so mean.
They went out and bought a Ferrari, and they have somebody driving it like it's a tricycle. They are driving it 20 miles under the speed limit. If you go out and get the horses, let the horses run. Sharon Moore should never have been a head coach in college football. He is only the scapegoat. He was left behind from the last group when this approach could win because they have a Ferrari. They have a beast at quarterback, and they will not unleash him because Sharon Moore isn't good enough.
I think there's a devil's advocate case to be made, though, that if you did just be like, hey, go make the reads, go make the decision, that he'd fuck up and throw a lot of picks. It's a hypothetical. So
let him fuck up.
Let him learn.
Yeah, maybe
the future is him. The future is him. You're just going to baby him and pat him on a little diaper? No, get the fuck out of the kid's way. You went and paid $88 million for him for a reason. You're wasting your money with this guy's coach.
What kind of film is he watching? He's got nothing. He's got nothing to go and look at and say, "Oh shoot, I gotta correct this mistake I made."
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's so lost in this era of football where we got to baby these people and not let them learn. And then if they're out there and they're making mistakes, well, you're gone. You're not the answer. It's the wrong way of thinking of things. They had it right 20 years ago, and they have it wrong today. Fact.
All right, Liam.
With Biff or Biff.
Lost a week.
Biff.
What?
I said they're better with Biff.
They're better with Biff.
Liam, who lost a week?
How can it not be I just have to stay on the game. How can it not be James Franklin? How can it not be this Keegan-Michael Key impersonator who goes out there in these big games and fails? He gets to the Rose Bowl and he fails. It's so pathetic that it's just so impressive to a T that Penn State went out there and showed up as unprepared as they were. I like whether we talked about it extensively, so I'm not going to really get into it.
Go off, team. We got plenty of time. Go off.
Like what we saw is exactly what I have become accustomed to with Penn State. They were pathetic. They weren't prepared. They weren't ready. They weren't locked in, and that was the case of it from their head coach, the leader of the program, the guy who's supposed to have them in the best spot from start to finish. He was making mistakes. His halftime interview was pathetic. That gets lost in all this. Penn State was down 27-7 at half. It could have been 24-7. It could have been 24-10, something like that. James Franklin decides, I want to try and score with as little time left as possible. That's my thing here. Dude's down 17 points and trying to score with as little time left as possible. It's just not smart. He's just not a smart human being. He's a bad football coach. A winner today is Penn State fans, because the future will be brighter without this guy. You can maybe contend for a national championship, or at least have that level of confidence going forward. This guy was never going to take you there. So Penn State fans are really winners today. And Martin Jarmon, big fat idiot loser. Well, he's not fat, but
hypothetically,
you really can't help yourself with Jarmon.
I don't think sorry, T-Bob brought this upon himself. You don't understand how perfect this has been, to where Foster's out, there's major change happening. They're able to win a game like this and just continue to point at the ineptitude of the AD. There were Fire Martin Jarmon banners flying around the Rose Bowl before and after the game. The boosters, the donors that people say do not exist have had it with him. They're done with him. They want him out of here 3 months ago. That guy's not lasting. He's gone, and the 4 letters are coming. UC Brand Walker's Mississippi State this year, they're playing pretty well. Look out for UCLA. I'm bringing us maybe a playoff.
T-Bob, who lost the week?
They're playing well.
Who lost the week?
Yeah, stop.
For their
stop.
standards. For their
We
standards.
went 2-10 last year. You guys won, but you finally took a 10-9 series lead. You guys ain't shit either. T-Bob, go.
Well, that's not true. Don't do this. It's too
I
late.
think okay. So I think Arch lost the
Marcel
week.
Reed fucking sucks, by the way.
Get the
He's
no.
He's fucking trash.
No, we are not doing that. Did you not listen to my?
We are doing it. I just fucking did it.
Did you?
Marcel Reed's
In
trash.
the first half, he said, oh, by the way, in what was it, a couple weeks ago, you were like online, like, I'm just kidding. Like, Marcel Reed's actually really good. You know Marcel Reed is good. And you want to say all you want.
I saw the fucking game.
He's
trash.
The first half, by the way, all season he's been good. The Notre, I cannot with you. This is what you do.
Been good all
This
season.
is what you do. You lash the fuck out. You lash out.
You're the one that said, they play well, huh? You did that little catty shit. That little Dave
Did they
Portnoy
play well?
talking outside of your mouth shit.
No. Out of curiosity, do you think Mississippi State played well tonight?
Not
Like the whole game, they played
A&M
well.
did either.
I didn't think so in the first half at all. In the second half, yes, they did. But did you think Mississippi State played
really?
well?
I just said no. Can you hear?
Well, then why was my clip so bad?
Fucking T-Bob, who lost the week? Am I still
I am. So I'm saying Arch, and it sucks because like he didn't play well at all. But you can find worse performances out of the country. But again, the amount of narrative just hanging over this kid's shoulders is so extreme and so unprecedented. He will be leading. I mean, he'll be leading Sports Center, I'm sure, on WUB, the premier morning sports talk show. We're going to break it down at length come Monday. He's just going to be a talking point. And here he is. He's going to have to try to fight through all of that, stick to the task, and try to find some way of living up to the expectation of Texas football from the last couple of years. And it's going to be fucking brutal. It's going to be a very long road. And where I believed before, again, I think it's way harder for me to see how he figures that out and navigates it.
Kayce, who lost the week?
I do think that it's Texas fans, and I don't feel bad for Arch. I do think that Texas fans, and they had a phenomenal year last year, and I'm not taking that away from them. First year in the SEC, they went to the playoff. They were in the playoff the year before, but the preseason hype around this team and around Arch and around Sark and everything, and you go in and you play the reigning national champion, which Ev, obviously, you think that Ohio State might be even better than they were last year. You lose that game, fine. Arch's first game on the road of his full starting season, fine. The way that they lost the game today, if you're a Texas fan, you have to be down tremendous. And I just think that there's something about this team that makes no sense. As an Aggie, you look at it, you have to laugh a little bit. But as somebody who covers college football, I don't get it. I do not understand it. There's nothing about this that makes sense for them to be this bad in certain areas of their football team. And as bad as Penn State looked, and I laugh because I hate that I'm preying on somebody's downfall I don't even know, but I'm going to laugh at Penn State. Texas is just, what is fucking happening? People had them winning the national title this year, and they lost to a Florida team that apparently, but it wasn't a good win. So what do I know?
Big F, who lost the week?
Louisville. I'll give it a Louisville Maryland split because they both had the game won. Louisville for their just turning the ball over and just giving a game away that they clearly were a much better team than Virginia, and Maryland for pissing away a 20-0 lead when I'm not going to say they had a chance to make the playoff. I actually looked at their schedule. They had some tough games coming up, but regardless, they had a chance to kind of vault themselves into an upper echelon than they're used to, and they pissed it away.
And
Brandon Walker, who lost the weekend? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to say. I mean, we could, for the sake of argument and the sake of this show, I could say somebody else, but the answer is just 100% James Franklin and Penn State, and there is no. It's so stark and such a dynamic loss that Blutman could have made 1 point. T-Bob could have made another point. Kayce could have made a third point. I could have made a fourth point. Big F could have made a fifth point. And we all would have been coming from different angles. That is how bad today was. Today wasn't enforcing a narrative about you that has existed. That narrative was you can never win big games. Today was about creating a new narrative. The new narrative is that you're just fucking trash and you don't belong there at all. The old narrative was you can't beat Ohio State and Michigan, and I think that's understandable. Ohio State and Michigan over the last few years have been very, very fucking good. Hard to beat them. But this new narrative, going to a team that hadn't led all season, going to a team that's fired their coach, going out there in front of 15,000 people, a blue out that was all empty chairs, and you just come out with that effort? You come out and looking like that, and it wasn't – listen, Drew Aller isn't as good as I thought he was going to be, but Drew Aller – isn't the reason they lost that game today. James Franklin was just standing over there, clueless. If you looked at the last 2 minutes when they're fighting back, the team's fighting their asses off. And James Franklin's just fucking standing there with that blank look on his face. It's 4th and whatever for UCLA. Gary Danielson saying, hey, they're going to take a safety here. And Penn State's defense isn't prepared for it.
No.
And then they're like everything about James Franklin today said he doesn't belong at as a head coach of the top 10 school.
Yeah.
Now, I know the other narrative about him. It was correct, but this narrative is new. I never thought he didn't belong at a school like this, and today it's a whole new thing. And he lost the week. James Franklin and Penn State lost the week.
The thing, I just want to bring this real quick. The thing that we didn't mention actually was in the second half of that game, every time they cut it to 6, they couldn't get a stop.
Yeah.
They had twice. They cut it to one score. And then UCLA would drive the length of the field 80 yards so they didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
They had their chances, and they just couldn't get a stop.
Hey, Brandon,
Right.
Before we go to the shit list, you should talk about getting your dick hard.
Blue Chewy.
Yeah, I'm going to need help after this show, to be frank. So, BlueChew?
Who's Frank?
Yes.
You know who Frank is.
I do know who Frank is. You don't need no BlueChew.
That's not gonna
But some
work.
of us do, and that's okay. Brandon, take it away.
Talk about BlueChew because I'm not going to do it.
So, BlueChew, fellas, we're getting in the hard dick business. And if you Get your first month of BlueChew for free. Just use promo code Roughness at checkout. Pay $5 for shipping. It is T-Bob. You've read this thing.
Yeah.
You want me to do the ad? I'll do the fucking
You want to
ad.
shift
T-Bob's got it.
paradigms?
T-Bob's got it.
You want to shift paradigms? You want to
Hey,
change
guys.
your old lady? You want to?
He's got it.
What about legacy? What about third legacy? Okay, you don't want to just get hard, but you want to stay hard. You want to get so hard that you're going to become the talker of all the girlfriend group text messages. Everybody's been talking about, God, he was so long and strong and his stamina was incredible. Okay. That's how it goes,
Girls
guys.
talk about that shit. That's a fact.
Thank you. Okay. That's where BlueChew comes in. I don't know the promo codes, but the bottom line is
keep talking about a hard dick.
The right way. Okay. You want to have sex to the point where you're going to shift paradigms and alter dimensions. You want BlueChew.
Get your first month of BlueChew free. Just use promo code Roughness at checkout. Pay just $5 for shipping. Free. Your first month of BlueChew. Just $5. Join BlueChew's mission to upgrade humanity.
Yeah.
One thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to BlueChew for sponsoring this podcast.
Also, we should say
1 a.m. It's
look,
1 a.m. and boys, I hope you're thrusting. Okay.
No in-doctor visits. Okay, guys. So no need for embarrassment. You go online, teleconference, bada bing, bada boom, bang, bang, BlueChew.
Liam.
Yes.
Do you have a shit list?
Yes, thank you for asking. People who aren't giving respect to the American Conference title race.
Yes.
There was a lot of,
Yes.
Look at USF. They're the team that beat immediately. And then it was quickly a jump to no, it's Tulane. How about this? Navy, Memphis, North Texas, South Florida, and Tulane. You have 5 legitimate teams in the AAC that are going to compete for that 12th playoff spot, along with UNLV, Boise State, JMU as one of the best defenses in the country. This group of 5 race for the playoff spot is going to be so captivating, and what you're seeing in the American is truly special. This Memphis team is really good. This Navy team, did you see what Eli Heidenreich did today? They're the receiving game. Blake Horvath put it on the money to him time and time again. North Texas's offense is electric. South Florida, we've seen what they could do. And Tulane, like, we know what Summerall is capable of. This is a very good race, and I just need to remind people that, yeah, the big boys are going to get a lot of the talking, a lot of the attention, a lot of the love, but go out there, watch some other football, watch this American title race, be there from now till the end of it, and you'll thank yourself that you did, because this is good football, man. Also, Martin Jarman never said congratulations. It's not right for an athletic director not to give credit to a team for pulling off a historic upset, and you know it. So don't stop me when I'm the only one with the presence that's a UCLA fan that could say words. You would be doing the same thing for Mississippi State, and you had been in years past. So I will continue to call out this bum. It's sad excuse of an AD. Like, what do you want me to do? Be silent and nothing happened? I want to be where you guys are. A good team, hopefully. So I'm going to talk.
T-Bob, do you have a shit list?
I got a hit list again. But actually, I'm not going to be long because Blood kind of touched on it. But I did want to highlight the Navy Air Force game. Navy wins 34-31. Great game. They're now 5-0. But yeah, Eli Heidenreich, 8 catches, 243, 3 touchdowns. Blake Horvath, 20 of 26, 339 through the air, the 3 touchdowns, and then 17 carries for 130 and another score on the ground. Blake Horvath remains fucking awesome at football.
Kayce.
Brandon, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you going to admit that I'm your daddy tonight?
Oh my God.
Just tonight.
Kind of hot.
Are you going to admit it? No, I'm not talking about last year. I'm not talking about 1990. I just would like you to say to me, Kayce, you're my daddy.
When this team falls, Kayce, when you lose, when you go into your swoon, and when you do your little 8-4 dance later this year, I'm gonna dance all over your fucking grave. I'm gonna gritty across that fucking collie dog's grave. I'm gonna fucking dance all over you motherfuckers. That's what I'm gonna fucking do.
So let me just get this straight. You're not gonna call me daddy?
I am not.
I'm gonna degrade you for the rest of the year. Go on, King.
That's even hotter.
right.
Wait, what about this? Brandon, hit list. The dog had an eye patch. Not AI.
Cool.
Not
sick.
AI. Dude.
Sick.
Reveille had an eye patch. That was badass.
Yeah.
She had glaucoma and she had
No, Kayce. No.
Do you not understand? Man, it was
I'm being
awesome.
sincere. No, I'm
Oh,
being
I
sincere.
know you were T-Bob. I know.
No.
you were
This is like a classic, like mostly inside joke. Mostly has a billion inside fucking jokes.
It wasn't AI this time.
But one of them is that Brandon got tricked by an AI Reveille with an eye patch, and we were making fun of him. But now it's real.
Can I give? I'm gonna give some credit. I'm gonna give some credit really quick. T-Bob was the one that said earlier this week that the Yell Eaters were gonna wear black. And I did not believe that. I found out Thursday night, and I refused to text in the group text. As soon as I found out, I saw it on my phone. I was like, I'm not saying this publicly until they find out themselves. And then you guys found out.
Also, to be fair, I was making a joke off of an AI joke. So it was the exact same thing.
Big Ev, do you ever,
no, Brandon, hold on. Brandon, call me daddy. Call me daddy.
Big Ev, do you have a
Brandon, call me daddy. Brandon, hey. I didn't make a bet with you, but I need you.
You don't have one?
Brandon, call me daddy.
I want to watch a UFC main event. And everyone's talking about daddies and shit.
All right, fair. I'll only do this for Ev, not for you, Brandon, for Ev.
I'm at the office, so I'm locked in a room. I have no screen in front of me.
Big Ev, then your part's done. If you want to go watch it, go watch it.
Big Ev,
No, I'm a team player. I'll stick it
No,
I'm going to make Brandon sit here until he calls me daddy, so go ahead.
Who do you
my
have?
last little rant, and then we'll get out of here.
Might just go the distance. I think Ed Clive knocks him out.
All right, set me up.
Let's go, Brandon. What's on your shit list this week?
All right. So we have come to the end of the show. It's now time for my shit list. And that is when I am prepared to walk into this space humbly and with my hat in my hand and my hands outstretched. Tonight, Mississippi State played a road game at Texas A&M. The pageantry was beautiful. The team is good receivers. Got to respect the coach. But the fact that we have a cult in this country that is so strong that these motherfuckers yesterday released a uniform reveal video for their fucking male cheerleaders. For these goofy ass motherfuckers that do this shit all day and they give hand jobs to the Giants around them.
Goofy ass shit. At least we have over 100,000 people saying the same fucking shit.
Do I get to talk?
Oh, chillest. Hold on.
Do I get to talk? The fact that they did a uniform reveal for the goofiest motherfuckers in all of college football that everybody laughs at tells you everything about that weird ass school in College Station, Texas.
Brandon, can I ask you a question? Are you in content?
I am.
Do you do dumb shit for content constantly?
All the time.
Okay, so do you like when people engage with your content?
So we're saying that the Yell Eaters are content.
So the opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy. And here you are fucking talking about it, baby. You're talking about it, which means you care about it, honey. You care about it and you wanted to talk about it and it's online and everyone's talking about it. Just like when you do your dumb fucking bullshit on Mostly, when you do your dumb fucking shit on the Yak, when you do your dumb fucking shit, you want everybody to talk about it. And here you are. So thank you for falling into our trap. Thank you for acknowledging it. What is it not? Are you not talking about it?
I think it was goofy. I think it was weird. I think it was funny.
And
I don't know if A&M intended it to be any of those things.
You're still talking about it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to make fun of you. Yeah.
Okay, well, the opposite of it's apathy. And the second that you don't fucking care, the second nobody cares.
I thought it was
cinematically beautiful.
I thought it was kind of badass a little bit. Was that a I did it my way epic like remix, like Frank Sinatra, like I did it my
I don't know. Hey, here's the
way.
thing: is that I honestly, again, it all shocked me. I didn't see it coming. But at this point, people are going to make fun of A&M no matter what. So I'm going to lean into it. And like when people start talking about things that are different, I'm going to lean into it. And as long as we keep curb stopping teams like we did tonight, I don't fucking care. They can wear pink, they can wear purple, they can wear white, they can wear black. I don't care.
Can I say something that's not a joke about you guys? And I think it's also it applies to us too because we're the same color. We're maroon. You're maroon. I don't think blackouts work for maroon teams. I think maroon out would be better. I don't know. It just black uniforms for us just seem, and us and you. The black uniforms don't seem right for us.
So I love maroon outs, obviously. The blackout started when with Johnny, and I know I told Fred Smoot this on the NFL show. By the way, he owes me the best steak dinner. I don't know if you saw that, Brandon. Fred has to take me to a steak dinner, and we get every single thing I want, and the butter cake. Apparently, I don't know. Beside the point.
Butter cake, good.
Is it Maestro's? He says the butter cake's the best.
Oh
butter
wait,
cake
that's
out
like
there?
when a girl. That's like when a girl has a flat ass.
What?
You're like everything's nice, butter cake.
That was good.
A flat ass, everything's nice, butter cake.
7.8 out of 10. Brian Walker, you had tweet of the day, by the way.
Oh,
Which one?
Yeah. Calling Jerry
As Lil
Neuheisel's hair
Wayne would say,
ridiculous.
Lil
It's just
Wayne
your
would say.
hair.
Go ahead. No, I want to hear actually what's.
Oh, that was a great tweet of the day. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Brandon calling out Jerry Neuheisel's hair when they had the exact same beautiful hair.
Oh yeah, of course.
I got a good hearty chuckle.
All right.
As Lil
That's
Wayne would
week-
say, you're like a bitch with no ass. You ain't got shit. I'm just saying.
That's week 6 or week 5, whatever it was. I at this point in the season, I lose it.
Me too.
We'll be back.
Week 0
Six.
fucks it all
Six.
up.
I know. We'll be back Monday night. Congratulations to Kayce and her team. 6-0, 5-0 or 6-0.
Hey, it's 5-0, and don't be so salty.
I just literally said the words congratulations.
No, it's a salty congratulations. You're talking shit about the
I'm
yellow
out.
ears.
Fuck
You're-
y'all.
you're-
Bye.
Pour us up.
Can't wait to hug you. Can't wait to hug you. I love you.
This might have been it for B-Wall.
I love you. I
I
love you.
love you guys. All right, that was very fun.